Hello everybody and a warm welcome to Trent Bridge Live in association with DAFABet 18+ gambleaware.org, and it's another double header here at Trent Bridge on a Friday night. Now the Blaze kicked off in style. They won their game against Warwickshire Bears women by 11 runs, and now it's the turn of the men. It's the Notts Outlaws versus the Warwickshire Bears. Now the toss has taken place between the two captains, Joe Clark and Ed Barnard for Warwickshire, and it was Joe Clark that won that toss, and he has elected to have a bowl. OK, now let's go through the two 11s for you and tell you who will be playing in this fixture this evening. From a Notts point of view, well, there's one change. He's been out, well, I shouldn't say out, he's been with the England Lions. That is Liam Patterson-White. He comes in, Stephen Mullaney there in the background trying to put me off. Liam Patterson-White is the one change. He comes in after his time with the England Lions in replace of Joe Pocklington. But apart from that, it is the same 11 that picked up that victory against Durham here last Sunday. From a Warwickshire point of view, well, if you're very familiar with their team, you will know there is one name missing from that has a very successful time here at Trent Bridge. That is Sam Hain. He's missing. He's got a slight injury concern from the Bears' point of view, and he will not be taking part this evening. But somebody that was with Liam Patterson-White in the England Lions is Dan Mousley, and he has made the trip here today. From their bowling point of view, well, obviously you've got Chris Woakes, ex-England international, Bo Webster, and also keep an eye out for Usman Tariq. A very strange bowling action. I'm pretty sure when you see him, you will know what I'm on about. But that team there, that is in alphabetical order via their surname. So I imagine, and this isn't, gospel, but I imagine Rob Yates and Alex Davies might be opening the batting for them. But we will find out very, very shortly. Now, from a Notts Outlaws point of view, somebody that is on that team in that 11 is Ollie Stone. And he is the latest person, my latest victim, in our new feature this season here on Trent Bridge Live, in conversation with. So here's a little snippet of the joker that is Ollie Stone. Ollie, really good to see you. Thank you very much for joining us for this little chat. Now, before we delve into some deeper stuff, I feel like we've known each other quite a while. I'd like to think that we're potentially mates outside of the ground. You've got quite a jovial personality, but today we're going to delve a little bit deeper. So, are you an onion? Is there more layers to you than that jovial personality that we see in and around the ground?
Yeah, I guess maybe. There's a bit of white line fever at times. I think I heard Dave on the stream mention it the other game, actually, about how, when I step over that white line, there's a different side to me sometimes that just comes out. I can't really put my finger on when it happens or why. It's just, I guess, that competitive edge in me that wants to win, and if something annoys me, then I just seem to, almost like someone flicks a switch and that, I sort of go, I guess. So there probably is a couple of different layers to me. But no, majority of the time I am this person you see. So,
well, it's a person we like to see, to be honest. So that's good to know. You actually took the words out of me mouth, because I was going to say Dave Bracegirdle said that about you. Do you feel you need to have that competitive sort of white line fever as you've described it?
I think I think everyone has it in their own different way, probably. For me, it's probably that fast bowler in me. We're probably a little bit nuts at times, so we obviously do what we do, but you have to bowl at times when you probably don't want to bowl, whether that's game situation or body dependent. Sometimes you're like, oh, come on, like, I've got to go again here. And you have to probably find something deep down that that you wouldn't normally have to if you're in a different phase of the game. So I feel like you have to have that edge, and I guess it's one of those that probably keeps me going and keeps me wanting to be out there and playing for Notts.
Obviously, the sort of your first few years at the club, 2023, especially sort of hampered by injuries. I think it would be wrong for us not to have this sort of conversation and touch on that sort of element of your career so far and your time at Notts. I remember in 2023, obviously starting the season very, very well away down at Hampshire, taking wickets. And then I think for me, it's the Lancashire game here that people will remember. You know, you got injured in that game, but walking down the pavilion, well, the old pavilion steps now as we see it potentially in the background, coming out to bat to save a draw. Just talk us through that kind of that time and the frustrations you had at that period, knowing that you got injured in that game.
Yeah, I guess there's never a good time to get injured, and obviously it felt like I'd started to bowl the way I'd like to bowl, and I remember bowling the ball and sort of turning round, like I felt like someone had like flipped me in the back of the leg, or like a bit of mud had flicked up and hit me on the hamstring, and then all of a sudden, like probably like 2-3 seconds later, you then get that pain that comes with it, and I was like, I sort of knew I was in trouble. Obviously walked off, and I knew that at some point I might have to bat. And Pete and medical staff came up to me and said, like, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, if there's a chance that like we get to a point where I have to go out and bat and save the game or whatever, then I'll happily do so. Luckily, it was only for that last over in the end, and I remember Fletch was devastated. I remember him coming up to me and apologising so much after the game that he got out, but I guess that shows sort of my character and my nature as well, that regardless of any situation, like I'll happily go out there and try and do well for Notts. And it was frustrating because I remember working so hard in my rehab and bits, and really looking forward to T20. We'd sort of tried to plan to get back for T20, and then that first game here against the Bears where Shaheen took 4 in the over, and I remember taking that catch at cover, and I think it was second or third ball into my first over, I sort of felt something in my hamstring again. Not as bad. It was to the point where Mole was at mid-off, and I was like, I think I might have done my hammy again. And we sort of contemplated whether it was worth bowling another ball. Thankfully I didn't. I walked off, and unfortunately I'd done it again, but it wasn't as serious. It was a frustrating time, but again, one of those ones where I did all I could to get back fit.
Is it tough when potentially people say, oh, look, he's always injured, injury prone, you know, you've not been the only player that's been at this club that's had their injury problems, and is it hard to hear that people think that of you, you know, made of glass, he's always injured? How have you had to deal with that in the past?
I mean, try not to read too much, to be honest. There's always someone that's going to have a negative opinion. It's I always look at it in the fact, if you're in any other job and someone, you just wouldn't ever get that exposure. That's sport at the end of the day, and you have to deal with it. And it's an unbelievable job, and one that I absolutely love. And if that's one of the small things that you have to deal with, then I'll take it. And sometimes those comments and that actually spur you on to show people actually, like, you do pick up injuries, but that's part and parcel of it. I feel at times as well, some people don't see all the work that goes into getting fit again. And I'll always remember a big one for me, one of my injuries, my ACL, of when I was out for 13 months, and to the point where I had to learn to walk again properly without a limp. Then you had to run without a limp. Then simple things of just being able to sit like this, so bending your leg, and just little things that I don't think people sometimes appreciate. It's just one of those. It like it comes with the job. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. Probably, yeah, like I say, probably encourages me to go out there and prove people wrong. And unfortunately, everyone picks up injuries, and I feel like bowlers pick up more injuries than others. And when you tend to bowl a little bit quicker than others, it seems to be the magnitude of the injury can tend to be worse because you're doing it at a faster pace. So you just work hard in trying to minimise those injuries and just keep coming back and having fun and trying to bowl quick and take wickets, I guess.
Okie dokie then, we are literally seconds away from the umpires and the players making their way out onto the field. Now in this fixture last year, it was the first game of last year's campaign and it was Nottinghamshire that won by 7 wickets. Jack Haynes top scoring with 89. And in the last game here last Sunday, Outlaws were bowling and Dylan Pennington took a wicket with the first ball. What have we got in store for us? Well, let's see what happens. Let's hand over to your BBC radio commentary team. Tonight's game, Notts Outlaws against Warwickshire Bears. Here's Kyle and Dave.
For the rest of the evening, though, so we look forward to getting a full game in here between two sides that really need an upturn in fortunes. Warwickshire played 4, lost 4, and usually for them they generally managed to find a way out of the group and into the knockout phase. Against Notts Outlaws, who had such a good run in reaching the knockout stages up until a couple of years ago. They've not got out of the group the last 2 years. And this year they started off with 3 straight losses before beating Durham on Sunday. Just momentarily off-putting as the fireworks just to our left go off, and as you can hear, create an awful lot of noise. The news from the middle, from the toss, is that Joe Clark, the Notts skipper, has won it, and he has opted to chase. Wants to bowl first, put the Bears in and chase down a little later on. One change to the Notts Outlaws side from the weekend, and that's the return of Liam Patterson-White. He's been away on England Lions duty. He comes back into the side to replace Joe Pocklington. So left arm spinning all-rounder replaces left arm spinning all-rounder. So Notts are Clark, Munsey, McCann, Haynes, Moores, Linder, Benny Howell, Liam Patterson-White, Ollie Stone, Dylan Pennington and Muhammad Ali. Warwickshire, they make a number of changes. They welcome back Richard Gleeson from injury. They also welcome back Dan Mosley from Lions duty. They're Rob Yates and Alex Davis out there in the middle. Then Dan Mosley, Zen Malik, Bo Webster the Australian, Ed Barnard the skipper, Chris Wokes, Jordan Thompson, Kai Smith the wicket-keeper, Osman Tariq and Richard Gleeson. I'm Dave Bracegirdle from BBC Radio Nottingham. Alongside me, a man with a foot in both camp, played for Warwickshire in 2021, played for Notts Seconds in 2022. Now he's here alongside to see if either of these sides can bring about an upturn in fortune and get anywhere near the knockouts. Very good evening, Kyle.
Good evening, Dave. Good evening to all our listeners. Yep. Big game this, really, for both sides. Both sides looking to kickstart their campaigns. Notts got off the board with a win on Sunday. Get a little bit of momentum here against the Warwickshire side that, quite frankly, we're not used to seeing the slow down on the table. Very
noisy with all the fireworks and the man on the tannoy. He's got that turned up full tilt. Not a full house. I think there's more here than we're here on Sunday. It wasn't a great weather forecast on Sunday. Friday night, great attraction. Come out and watch the cricket, and they're still coming into the ground. We're about to get underway with Dylan Pennington to bowl the first ball of the match, and it's Zen Malik out there opening for the visitors, and he blocks the first ball, and there's no run. Alex Davis also back in the Bears side. Normally they go with Rob Yates and Alex Davis, but it's Malik and Yates at the top of the order here.
Yeah, I find that a little bit interesting. I thought if you're going to play Davis, one of the best places for him to bat is at the top of the order. St Malik, good player though.
Yes. Dylan Pennington, and this is slammed back over his head for 4, 1 bounce for 4 in fact. Crikey, gave that an almighty wallop down the ground. Zen Malik wasn't anything I don't think you'd find in the MCC books about stylish batting. He just clubbed that straight over the bowler's head, 1 bounce down the ground for 4 runs. More a shot out of baseball than cricket.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal cricket shot. Just to stand and deliver. Glorious batting.
Bears up and running. Pennington comes in again and gets an extra little bit of bounce there. It's a good delivery from Pennington. Went over the shoulder of the bat. Was still climbing as Tom Moores took it. And Notts have got a slip in, Liam Patterson-White. They've also got Muhammad Ali, the Pakistan international quick bowler, up inside the ring. And it makes it look like he's sort of at 4th slip. He's not that far behind Liam Patterson-White. He is at short 3rd, but keeper and first slip such a long way back. Here's Pennington in again, work to mid-wicket for a comfortable single, and Malik gets down to the non-striker's end. So we'll see Rob Yates for the first time, 26 years of age. Rob Yates, Solihull born, left-hander of course, so they'll all have to have a bit of a swap over for Malik. Bears 4 straight losses in this new Central and Wales group. It's a cross-group match. I'm sure a time or two the new format has been explained to you, but we might touch on it a little later on. Pennington then to bowl the 5th ball of the over to Yates, helps it into the offside, fielded by George Munsey, who really went to town on Sunday and unbeaten 88 here. Just lost the strike just towards the back end of that successful run chase. We were doing all the permutations and calculations to see if Munsey could get a century, but just lost his chance when he found himself at the non-striker's end for a while. Had to contend himself with 88. Last ball of the first over. The Bears 5 without loss, and this is cut away by Yates. There is protection out there in the deep. Freddie McCann, and just a single. So in this day and age, I think most bowling sides would take that 6 from the first over. The Bears up and running, 6 without loss here on BBC Radio Nottingham, on Sports Extra 2, and on the live stream, the club's live stream. There are pictures available if you want to go on the Nottinghamshire County Cricket Club website and have a look. Looks as if it's going to be Ollie Stone, so it's certainly going to be pace on from Notts in the early stages here. Who better to describe fast bowling than the world's slowest spinner, Kyle van Vollenhoven.
I get loads of stuff. I get loads of stick for being a slow spinner. It's so valid though, so like I can't even argue against it. Ollie Stone against his former club, in the number 9, running away from us here at the Radcliffe Road and in, and this is driven firmly to cover. Benny Howell, run at him at your peril. He usually doesn't miss the stumps when he throws. No run. Yeah, Joe Clark winning the toss. He hasn't done that often this season in the blast, so having a bowl first chasing usually goes well, doing what they did Sunday. Georgia Linder stood on the ring at mid-off. The slip and play for Stone, and this is flying through to Tom Moores, who takes it on the bounce. Half volley. I did think that this is a bit of a used wicket. Ladies have played on it a couple times, men have played on it a few times, might be a little bit slower. Whether or not Nickoff is in the game or not sure. Joe Clark certainly does not think Liam Patterson-White warrants being at slips. Moved him now into mid-wicket. Rob Yates still on strike. In and dances down the wicket, and this flies through to Tom Moores. He bowled that with some pace.
Was Yates at Edgbaston when you were there?
He was an absolutely wonderful human being. Rob Yates, really, really nice man. As good as he is at cricket, he's a better person. And that's saying something. Yeah, a couple of the Warwickshire players, Dan Mousley, Oliver Hannon-Dalby is in the squad, not obviously playing this evening. Ollie Stone was there. Chris Wokes obviously. Stone in again, and this is pushed down to Slice Man, mix between deep point and third. Out on the boundary for 1, 7 for no loss. So yeah, team's changed quite a lot since I was playing there, but good bunch, nice stadium to play at. As you've reminded me a couple of times today, Dave, I bowled Hassan Hamid into the England team. That's my claim to fame. That's what I'm saying. I'm still yet to receive a thank you card. So, Hass, if you can hear me, I do like chocolates. Nice thank you card. Wouldn't go amiss. You can leave it with Dave. I'm sure Dave will get it to me. Some stage bowled some yums that day. So Ollie Stone in, and this is flicked off the pad by Zen Malik into mid-wicket, where Liam Patterson-White will run around and do the fielding. Another single.
Yes, if you're wondering on the reference, it was a 50-over game at Edgbaston, Warwickshire against Notts, and Seba Mead scored 100 not out for Notts and was in the England team a week later, and of course Kyle served him up a few of those.
Oh, yeah, it was lovely. Did
you get a wicket that day?
I didn't.
No,
I did.
okay.
I did run out. I can't remember who I ran out. I ran out somebody on a caught slate on the boundary. Direct hit from the boundary. Good fielding. Good fielding. That's about my only contribution. This is in from Ollie Stone. It's cannoned into Rob Yates' thigh pad, and off his own bowling does the fielding. Dot ball. So really good over. Only 2 coming from that Ollie Stone over. It's 8 for no loss after 2.
And of course, a week ago, Ollie Stone was absolutely put to the sword by Nyron Donald, the Glamorgan captain, taking 32 off and over, just along the A52. Ollie Stone keeping his place on Sunday, bowled much better there, and starts today with an over that only goes for 2. Going to be Muhammad Ali.
What reference you got for me today? What little pun?
We'll just wait and see how he goes. He's disappearing right up to the far end. The pavilion still has plenty of scaffolding on it. New build, of course, all of last season and so far this season. Work going on. Here's Ali in to bowl to Zen Malik. Pushes this in the offside, and there's no run. Dan Mosley due in next. I would imagine then, depending on whether a wicket goes down early on, maybe Alex Davis, or if the first couple of wickets stretch deep into the innings, the Australian Bo Webster and Ed Barnard will want to get out there, give the ball a bit of a whack. Webster made 90 odd at the weekend against Northants, 97 from 56 on Sunday. In a losing cause, Chris Lynn came back with an even bigger score for Northamptonshire. There's Ali in down the leg side, taken well by Tom Moore, stood a respectful distance back but did slide down the leg side. Our umpires today are Steve O'Shaughnessy and Paul Pollard, and signalled as a leg side wide. Just said that doesn't look like Steve O'Shaughnessy out there. And just going off the scorecard, it's Paul Pollard at the non-strikers end. Might be David Milnes having a natter at it is. It's Pollard and Milnes, the 2 umpires. There's Ali in, bowls now, and this one has been gloved over Tom Moore's for 4. He went to take on the short ball, trying to help it on its way down to long leg, and it came off the right glove and looped high over Tom Moore's and sped away for 4. There's not a lot you can do about that. No,
it's a moral victory for the bowler. He's just beaten for pace all ends up, hasn't he? Before he can get through the shot, it's hit his glove and looped over Tom Moore's. I'm surprised there's not been a boxing reference there from Dave, but keep going.
We're early, Ed. We're early. Bears 13 with Outlaws. Put in by Joe Clark, the Notts Outlaws skipper. Notts almost at the point where they've got to win most of the rest of their games. This is clipped away on the leg side. Ollie Stone's after it. He did well to get there, Stone, because that could have got away and sped away for 2 or 3 runs. I don't think he would ever have reached the ropes, but Stone at sort of a deepish mid-on on the 30-yard circle, moved quickly to his right and stuck out his right hand and was relieved, I think, to clutch the ball and keep them to 1. 14 with Outlaws, the Bears. Ali halfway through his first over. He's got the left-handed Rob Yates on strike. Yates 2 from 7. Bowls now, and he's taken on the hook this time, the left-hander, and gets that away for 4 runs. It's a good shot, second boundary in the over. One off the glove of Malik over the keeper, and a nicely controlled pull shot by Rob Yates through square leg and away for 4.
Yeah, it's a lovely shot there. Banged in short by Ali, and Yates just sort of pulling it away over square leg, 1 bounce 4. Big boundary out there on the leg side. 18 for no loss. Can he get out the over with not conceding another boundary?
2 balls left in it, 18 with Outlaws. Here comes Alec into Yates, and he's going to pull this one away in a similar direction and maybe pace off just a little bit, signalled as a leg by. 1 more to the total, and the umpire called over there.
No, it's hit Rob Yates in the helmet.
Yeah, just going to have a brief interruption whilst the concussion test is completed. Good shout from Kyle. Everybody just started walking in. So I think it's been a long enough over anyway with the wide. I think 1 or 2 perhaps in the deep had sort of subconsciously counted 6, but yeah, that was just got up and deflected onto the helmet, and although he's clearly okay, Rob Yates, or at least as far as we can tell from here, he's okay. He's gone down to the other end, having a natter to Zen Malik. 19 with Outlaws. Bears have done well here, historically speaking. In fact, they've won this fixture here more times than not. So have 7 Bears wins to only 6 by the home side, and they've won 4 in a row between 2021 and 2024. But last year, Notts won an absolute thriller with Jack Haynes getting 89 not out as they chased down a victory target of 227 to win. It was a fantastic game of cricket, that was. Can you remember Jack Haynes getting his 89 not out?
Yeah, he played absolutely beautifully. Cracker. It was first game. That was blast off, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Notts chased down over 200.
Yeah, in fact, Bears 226 for 5. Sam Hayne, who's not playing this evening, made 92 not out. Notts 229 for 3, getting home in the last over. Malik on strike, comes down the track, and he's hit this one high up into the air. Now then, is this a catching opportunity? I don't think so. I think it's going to clear the inner ring. Benny Howell scampers back to get somewhere near it, and they take a couple of runs.
End of the over, end of a big one in the end there.
Yeah, just getting confirmation from producer Kirsty that David Milnes has replaced Steve O'Shaughnessy as the umpire. Apologies if every now and again we're sort of drowned out by the noise. I think very often we sort of say it's a little quiet here, but this isn't one of those evenings so far. Going to be Ollie Stone to start the 4th over. 21 without loss. Just easing into the work here, the Bears. Notts need a wicket.
Stone into Yates, who's playing this hard through the covers. The man out at, as I said, Slice man does the work there. Jack Haynes, who we were just speaking about, they get back for 223 for no loss in the 3rd. Rob Yates, for as young as he is, 26 years of age, seems to have played a lot of cricket for the Bears as they came through the age groups. There always been an opening batter, scores really quickly, scores really well square of the wicket. He's Stone in, and this is off Yates's thigh pad, and they will come through for a leg bye. Obviously Stone and Yates would have seen each other plenty in the nets over the years that Stone was at Warwickshire. Know all the tricks of both of them. 24 for no loss. Zen Malik, really exciting prospect. I've seen it a couple of times. Really likes walking down and hitting lofted shots over the top, especially over extra cover. Mid-off in the ring as well. It's all well and good. Difficult to do that to Ollie Stone as he backs away, and this is pulled away, and this will be 4. So Zen Malik continuing to try take the attack to the bowlers, being really, really aggressive. He picks up a boundary. He moves to 17. The score moves to 28. Ollie Stone goes for his first boundary.
Yeah, I don't know if there was some chatter there, but Zen Malik wasn't particularly speedy in getting to his stance, getting to his crease. He was just waiting, I think, for the chatter to die down, and the longer he waited, it seemed as if Ollie Stone was getting more and more frustrated at the end of his mark. He wanted to bowl and maybe just lost a little bit of focus, banged it in short, and it was pulled away for 4.
Stone starts his long run up, changing field, deep and wicket out, goes full. This is flicked away on the leg side. This would be only 1. Good work out there by Jack Haynes. Good work, a little bit straighter. Not sure Ollie Stone has executed what he wanted to bowl there. May have just got away with 1 there. 29 for no loss.
Yeah, 2 balls left in this over, and I think we're going to get a bit of George Linder at some point in the power play. He's been getting himself ready.
Yeah. Saw George in the power play this time last week. Ollie Stone in, goes back of a length, and Rob Yates helps us round the corner. That will be a boundary. Airing a little bit too straight there, and Yates has walked across a little bit, and ball banged in. That's got up around hip high. Just been helped round the corner. Fine leg is so narrow and inside the ring, he had no chance, and deep square leg is all he had to do was just walk down to the boundary rope and pick that up. So that's a boundary. Second of the over. 10 coming from this one as well, so back-to-back overs that have gone over 10. 33 for no loss. 1 ball left in the 4th. Robbie Yates waits. He's 12 off 12. This in, and this is flicked away, and this will be 6. So this is a big over. 16 from it. And Ollie Stone, against his former team, has gone the distance in the second over. 39 for no loss at the end of 4.
Those last 2 balls, were on leg stump, or maybe even had the batter not been there, they would have missed leg stump. And the point I'm making is, why then has he got a man on the cover boundary? He's either wasted a fielder having him out there, or it was a couple of poorly directed deliveries, because they were both going down the leg side. One just flicked away for 4, and one, it would have gone for 6 in any case, but bowl to your field, and if you put one either side, then that's a fair indication that you're going to be bowling fairly straight. But to have one on the offside and bowl 2 balls down the leg side there that went for 10 runs was a little bit of a waste of a fielder. 39 without loss after 4, and we are going to get the South African spinner, 34 years of age, George Linder. I think the other day I said he was 32. I thought it was wrong when I said it, and just checked. He's 34, and his first ball is deposited for, well, that's going to take some checking. In fact, it's not going to take any checking, because Paul Pollard has raised his arms straight away. I thought that was close enough to the boundary rope to at least have a discussion with any of the fielders on that side. Replay I've just seen, I didn't see where it landed, but anyway, he's given 6, and we're going to play on. I don't think there's anybody in Nottinghamshire Green that's going to argue the decision. So Linder 0 for 6 from 1 ball. Comes in again, the left arm spinner, and this time just short of a length, a little bit of bounce. Linder gets it through to Tom Moores as Malik tried to cut him away. 2 fielders outer at long off and deep square leg for the left arm spinner from the pavilion end here at Trent Bridge. Round the wicket to Zen Malik, who's got a flyer, comes down the track and just drags it onto the leg side, fielded by Pennington for a single. 46 without loss. Good start this by the Bears here at Trent Bridge on BBC Radio Nottingham's FM frequencies and on 5 Sports Extra 2. 46 without loss. As Carl said earlier, it's a used wicket. The women's match was played on it. I just wonder if it's one of those hybrid strips here at Trent Bridge. Well, certainly taking their time getting through this over, aren't they? Had the ball in George Linder's hand for a minute or so. Bowls to Yates and an inside edge past the stumps, past Tom Moore's, and gets a single. He was fortunate there.
He was. That spun back, and Yates looking to give himself a little bit of room. He's got an inside edge and another coat of paint on the stumps, and Rob Yates was walking back to the pavilion. Well bowled, George Linder.
Linder has played in the last 3 matches. He didn't arrive from his previous engagements in time for the first game. So he's eased into the offside and it'll be a single. End of the... It's not the end, there's one more ball to come. 48 without loss. As figures of 1 for 35 against Lancashire at Old Trafford, 2 for 52 at Derby. He went for a few last Friday, most of them did, and then much better against Durham on Sunday, 2 for 19, but he only bowled 3 overs. I think they're trying to get the Mexican wave started. 48 without loss. And this one again spins back, and Rob Yates, the second time in the over, nicks one past the stumps and gets a fortuitous single to get down to the far end. And the Bears, at the end of the 5th over, 49 without loss, near as anything, going at 10 and over, which is a terrific start here. They'll certainly be looking to push on. They've got some very, very capable players. Bo Webster, the Australian, a dangerous hitter. Dan Mosley, fine player. Alex Davis can rattle along. Ed Barnard, Jordan Thompson. Not so want to keep chipping away with the wickets, but first and foremost they've got to break this opening partnership. Last over of the 6-over power play to be bowled by Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, changing ends for Muhammad Ali. Radcliffe Road end. Robbie Yates on strike, walks across the stumps, and oh my goodness me, he's got bat on that. That was destined for middle stump. It really was. He's walked across, showed the entire set to Muhammad Ali. As he's fired it into the stumps, Rob Yates has got an inside edge on it, and it races away past fine leg, who's up in the ring, and it goes for 4. Very, very lucky Rob Yates. At the moment, the luck is just sort of going Warwickshire's way. It's the 50 partnership as well, 53. Comes in the 6th over, and Warwickshire are well on their way here to posting something quite formidable. Backs against the wall, the Outlaws. Ali in, goes slower ball wide, and he's going to have to re-bowl that. That is very, very wide.
Yeah, we watched the women's match a little earlier on, and there was some loose bowling in that right at the start of the game, as the Warwickshire women leaked 3 lots of 5 wides and within the space of 2 overs. I don't think I've seen that before, but certainly got the...
You haven't watched Bulletin, Dave?
Certainly got the Blaze off to a flying start.
Ali gone for 5 off 1 ball here, just to really pull it back. He's in, delivers to Yates, who's swinging very hard at that. Ball goes through to Tom Moore's no run. Old fashioned, clear the left leg or the right leg in Rob Yates's fashion, and heave it to Cow Corner.
Woollerton being your Notts Premier League side at
Correct.
The moment, you surely don't play anything down the leg side as a wide.
Yeah, we do.
You do?
Yeah, we do. Anything down the leg, same rules as this. 2 bounces and over, anything down the leg side wide. No balls are free hits.
That's not proper cricket.
Get me into time cricket when you can bowl overs and overs at a time. Ali in, and this is beating Rob Yates as well outside the off stump through to Tom Moore's dot ball. Good comeback, 2 dot balls in a row.
Yeah, 54 without loss though. A lot of the damage already done in this power play. Both players have hit 3 4s and a 6, just matching each other. Just about neck and neck. Malik 26 from 15, Yates 23 from 17.
Yeah. Obviously firepower to still come. Notts will be incredibly happy that they will not be seeing Sam Hain walk out there this evening. He averages plenty at Trent Bridge.
505 in the T20 Blast.
That is a very formidable sight when seeing him. Ali in goes short, and this is cut up and over straight to Jack Haynes, and that is a big wicket and a very big celebration by Muhammad Ali. He's delivered a wicket to his captain Joe Clark. He's delivered the breakthrough in the last over of the power play. Rob Yates has got to go for 23 off 19. The Bears lose their first. They're 54 for 1.
Yeah, just hit it a little bit harder and he would have got 6 runs, but as it was to the deepest boundary on the ground at the backward square on the offside, he's deliberately lifted it up, taken the aerial route, and Jack Haynes holding a catch on the rope above his head. As I say, another foot higher and it would certainly have gone for 6. He's probably left a few out there, Rob Yates, but Mo Ali getting the first wicket of the evening. That's his 7th of this season's competition. 2 balls left in the power play, 54 for 1. Dan Mosley, who's been playing for England Lions, is out there at number 3 in the order.
Yeah, played with Dan. He's a phenomenal cricketer, really talented batter, incredibly destructive. Done a bit of the rounds, playing a couple of the T20 tournaments around the world. So experience now for such a young player.
Played for England a couple of times 2 years ago, but
nothing since, has
no.
it? Mo Ali to Dan Mosley. This is in, and this is play and miss outside the off stump. A bit of an appeal. A polite how was that one, and not out. Clearly missed it.
You don't get many of those given, do you, where you just politely ask, any chance on?
You really got to beg nowadays.
Yeah.
You got to get down on one knee, scream. I don't even know if people ask how was that, or if they just scream at the umpire nowadays. I know I don't ask how's that. I just go up because I'm surprised that they've missed it. Something along those lines. Mo Ali, 54 for 1. 1 ball left in the over. Last ball of the power play. This is in, and Mousley defending off the front foot. Out to Muncie at extra cover, dot ball. So at the end of the power play, Warwickshire 54 for 1 after 6, after being asked to bat first.
You don't have to appeal, Kyle, when they're caught at long off, do they?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So 54 for 1, power play comes to an end. The fielders can be released out into the wild, or at least 5 of them can. Joe Clark, the Outlaws skipper, applauds Mo Ali from his position at extra cover. Going to give George Linder a second over from the pavilion end. Be bowling round the wicket. Zen Malik then has got a flying start here. He's on 26 from 19. Linder bowls. Oh, that's chipped straight into, or would have been straight into the hands of mid-on had there been one there. It was as false a shot as you can imagine, but he gets a run because mid-on was right back out on the fence. He was just trying to work it away for a single, really, wasn't he? Could so easily have chipped it back to the bowler.
Yeah, that's all he was trying to do. Just off the back foot, looking to nudge it into the leg side, and a little bit of spin there and hold, and incredibly unorthodox, weird-looking shot that from Zen Malik. Goes down in the scorebook as 1, I guess.
It's Mosley on strike. I'm reliably informed it is Mosley, although they do call him Mouse, I think, his nickname.
Yeah.
There's Linder. Past umpire Pollard, the left-hander will get off the mark with a gentle nudge. Again through the mid-on region. 56 for 1. So we haven't yet seen Liam Patterson-White or Benny Howell with ball in hand. Can't all bowl at the same time, of course. We've had 4 bowlers, though. I'd imagine both of those 2 will get a go. And also Freddie McCann bowled 3 very tidy overs on Sunday. This is a lovely looking shot by Malik. Opens his body up to play it deliberately over the ring on the offside, out into the deep. Again, well fielded by Haynes. They get a couple. Yeah, Freddie McCann, 3 overs, none for 19 on Sunday. Did a really good holding job for his side. 58 for 1. Linda to Malik, and he's chipped this up in the air, and Mo Ali will take the catch. 2 overseas combining for knots to get rid of Malik, and Malik out for 29. So both openers giving the Bears a decent start, but neither could go on. Malik out for 29 from 17 deliveries. It's 58 for 2. Halfway through the 7th over. Malik trying to play a big shot again over extra cover, and he's sort of top edged it. And Mo Ali on the discs at 45 at sort of short third, and he just had to backpedal a couple of steps and then judged it very nicely to take the catch. So Malik goes, and the new man, well, don't need to wait to see the announcement on the scoreboard who it is, although it does come up. The 6 foot 6 or 7 inch Australian giant Bo Webster on his way out to the middle.
Yeah, he is a very, very tall man. I don't even think I get to his shoulders, old Bo Webster.
We're just seeing on the live stream the comparison there, because he's taking guard with wicketkeeper Tom Moores behind him, and with all due respect to Tom, he's probably going to need a box to stand on to have an eye-to-eye conversation with Bo, the giant Australian. But that's a good wicket for Notts to pick up. Malik looked full of runs this evening, but he won't get any more. Here's Linda into bowl to Webster, who's away first ball, cutting it to backward point. Bo Webster, 32, Tasmanian. Played 8 test matches for Australia, including in the Ashes last winter. And on Sunday, a career best 97 in this format for his new employers, Warwickshire. So he comes into this game full of runs. Mosley back on strike. He's got 1. Linda bowls to him, cut into the offside. Oh, nicely fielded by Patterson White. And that's the end of the over, 59 for 2. So just 5 runs from it. And the wicket, good over that for Notts, Kyle.
Yeah, really good over. Tight bowling that from George Linda. Big wicket is in Malik, who's just looking like he wants to get going, take his innings to the next level. And just like you said, you're going to have Freddie McCann now, so all those tight overs on Sundays. Looks like he's going to be tasked to bowl a couple more tight ones this evening as well. Bo Webster on strike. 59 for 2. So Freddie McCann around the wicket to the Australian Bo Webster. This is fired in at the pads and is pushed out to deep mid-wicket where Jack Haynes does the fielding. Fires it into Tom Moores. Just have a bit of a shuffle. Brings Dan Mosley onto strike. I was about to say he will reverse sweep. He's got a great sweep and reverse sweep. Does Dan. It's a deep backward point put out. McCann in, reverse sweep comes out, and that is stone dead. It is stone dead. You can walk for those. Freddie McCann picks up a huge wicket. Dan Mosley's got to go. The Bears, well, they lose their 3rd, and they just keep getting pegged back by Notts. Notts are doing a fantastic job at taking wickets at regular intervals just to stop Warwickshire building up a little bit of momentum. And you'd have to say, after winning the toss and putting in Warwickshire into bat, Notts have them right where they want them.
Well, kudos, Carl. You knew what shot he was going to play. Notts knew what shot he was going to play. Freddie McCann, the bowler, knew what shot he was going to play, and Mosley just didn't execute it properly. He's got down to play the switch hit almost before McCann has released the ball, and he's absolutely plumb in front, missing it. And that's just a real waste of a wicket as far as the Bears are concerned. A hugely talented player gets himself out for 1, playing a ridiculous switch hit as soon as he arrives out there in the middle. And as you say, the field was already set for that shot anyway. There was one there stopping the 1. There was a fielder out in the deep, so it's a high risk shot
for 1 run,
even had he executed it properly.
I couldn't agree with you more. For 1 run, I think it's a really high risk option. If there's nobody there and you can get a 4, then fair enough. Ed Barnard comes to the crease. He's greeted by Freddie McCann, who's dancing down the wicket is Barnard, pushing it down to George Linder at long on, gets off the mark straight away with a single.
Yeah, Barnard is the Bears captain these days, and in the county championship match earlier in the season here, scored 160 on this ground for his side. Terrific effort.
McCann in, goes firing it in and just slides across. Bo Webster into Tom Moore's gloves, dot ball. Notts are doing a good job. We saw it in the game earlier. Spin really was a challenge. Seeing it again now. This one in full, and it's just snuck through. Oh, when Webster went forward off the front foot, just yorked himself and it slid through. I thought those wickets are going to get pegged back, but somehow missed them.
Don't think Tom Moores knew where the ball was. He got the body of Webster obscuring his view.
The next ball is fired in, and Bo Webster's just pushing this very gently down the ground to long off for a single. So an incredibly tidy over that from Freddie McCann. 62 for 3 at the end of the 8.
Yeah, absolutely. Plumb in front, Dan Mosley. And I would say Freddie McCann deserves that, because he bowled 3 superb overs on Sunday. You don't get what you deserve, and it doesn't count if it carries on into the next match. But you know, some days you can bowl terrifically and not get a wicket. Some other days you can just turn your arm over there, and the batter at the other end does it for you effectively. And that's pretty much what happened there. But pleased for Freddie McCann. We're going to get more spin. Liam Patterson-White. Another one back from England Lions duty from the far end. This is his first match of the season for LPW. Bowls to Bo Webster, the Australian, who defends this first ball. 62 for 3. Really important for Notts to get Liam Patterson-White back in the side. Does a terrific job. And there he's got an LBW shout with Webster this time, trying conventional sweep. Shy at the stumps from Munsey. Missed. I think Webster would have been home in any case, but it's a very confident shout from Liam Patterson-White. Umpire Paul Pollard played most of his cricket on this ground back in the day. Says not out.
That was close. That was very close. Maybe the only thing saving him. We're not exactly in line, but maybe got just outside the line of off stump. Can't imagine it was missing the wickets or going down the leg side.
Barnard to face Patterson-White for the first time today, and this is pushed into the offside, and there's no run. Tom Moores trots round to field. 63 for 3. The Bears were 54 without loss, 54 for 1, 56 for 2, 60 for 3. As Patterson-White in again, round the wicket, just short of a length. Oh, and that very nearly skewed up to Munsey, sort of fielding where Mohammed Ali took his catch, wasn't he, inside the ring at short third. Didn't quite carry to him, but they scrambled a single quickly.
Yeah, good bowling again, Liam Patterson-White. A little bit of spin. Barnard just off the thickish outside edge. Goes to Munsey.
We're in the 9th over here, match night from BBC Radio Nottingham at the cricket, as Webster, tall Tasmanian, turns it to leg. Joe Clark, the Notts skipper, doing the fielding. Mentioned the county championship a wee while ago. A fortnight today, that kicks back in again. Notts will be playing Somerset next Friday here at Trent Bridge. And of course, these two sides at the moment, the top 2 sides in the country in the county championship. Notts top, Warwickshire second. Patterson-White bowls. Again, an attempted sweep, doesn't come out of the middle of Barnard's bat. Gets a single. And Liam Patterson-White threw his first over just for 4 runs. 66 for 3, the Bears. Yates out for 23 to Mo Ali. Zen Malik out for 29 to George Linder. And Dan Mosley out for just a single to Freddie McCann.
This is good captaining by Joe Clark. Keep spin on. Now spinning it away from the bat. It's George Linder into the attack now. So really, really good. This is into his 3rd now, is George. Barnard and Webster, really, really good batters. So there's still a really big partnership. Pick up a wicket here, just keep pegging him back. All of a sudden, Warwickshire aren't looking at 170, 180. They're looking at 140, 150, and Notts would be very, very pleased if they chased that this evening. 66 for 3. Linda said changing in, so he's from the Radcliffe Road in now. He's in here, and Barnard is cutting this away to Dylan Pennington at backward point. He does the fielding, no run.
Still haven't seen Benny Howell, by the way. This is the 10th over, so lots of options still at Joe Clark's disposal.
Yeah.
Unlikely that Howell, you would imagine, would get its full 4 overs then with only 10 left.
Linda in, and this is skidding through and hitting Barnard on the pad, going down the leg side. Not an appeal, no run. Yeah, Pennington's also only bowled 1 stone to Ali 2. Yeah, would wonder where does Benny Howell fit into that. Maybe bowl a couple overs in the middle, finish with Pennington and Stone or Ali. Linda in, and this is down the leg side, and I think that will be a leg bye. And is a leg bye. 67 for 3 again, tidy over. 3 balls bowled, 1 leg bye coming from it. Pressure on Bo Webster now. He's 4 off 8. Barnard 3 off 7. Both these batters not yet really getting going. Not to be happy with that. Joe Clark understanding that, putting himself at mid-wicket to try stop the easy single down the ground. That's spun and goes to Muncie at short third man. This is good bowling by the Notts team.
Yeah, 2 left-arm spinners bowling in tandem. I've just seen the other slow left-arm spinner bring the drinks up to the edge of the boundary. I do feel that Notts underused, certainly under-bowled Joe Pocklington in the previous matches. He's been left out today for Patterson White coming back into the team.
Linda in, and this is pushed down the ground back to George Linda, who does the fielding off his own bowling. Dot ball, only 1 from this, 1 ball to go. What a great over. Joe, get yourself a backward point, save the boundary, give him the 1.
Trouble is that Webster's got to tee off in a minute because they're getting behind the rate, aren't they?
They are.
Not that there is a rate really when they're batting first, but you know what I mean.
Linda in, and this is pushed down the ground, and that will be a single. So an absolutely fantastic over by the South African overseas. George Linda showing all their experience and then a little bit more. 68 for 3 at the end of 10.
Yes, Linda 3 overs 1 for 15. Thought after 10 there they were going to have a proper drinks break with all the milk floats and all the players' drinks being brought to the boundary edge, but it seems like they're going to carry on, and it will be Benny Howell then into the attack to bowl the 11th over. 68 for 3. Howell has so far picked up 3 wickets. He's bowled just about his full allocation in all of the matches. None for 30 against Yorkshire, 1 for 24 against Lancashire, 1 for 41, 1 for 32. His figures. And his first ball disappears for 6, and Webster, it's only a matter of time before he got hold of 1, and that's gone a long way actually into the upper deck of the Fox Road stand, right at the back of the stand. Wasn't too far from being hit out of Trent Bridge, and it has been returned and thrown back. That was a big blow. I think it was a crowd catch. I think there'd have been a little more excitement, but Benny Howell, first ball goes for 6. He's in again to Webster, who tries to whip this one wristily through mid-wicket. In the end he will get a single down the ground to long on, down to Ollie Stone. 75 for 3. That was a big blow, wasn't it?
Yeah. Welcome into the attack, Benny. You can go for 6 first ball. But you're right, David. It was always going to happen. Webster's going to take his chance. He either hits that straight to deep square leg and Howell takes a wicket first ball, or he hits it out the ground like he did. It's got to come. They can't keep patting it back for another 10 overs. 120, 130 isn't going to win them this game.
There comes Benny Howell. Ed Barnard has 3 and claiming it, and he's gone. Obviously got a little tickle on that through to Tom Moore, standing up. Moores was celebrating straight away. He knew there was a tickle on that. And again, I fancy that Ed Barnard was just trying to do something out of the orthodox, just trying to play a little bit of a funky shot there, and he's nicked it through to the keeper. Another important breakthrough for the home side. 75 for 4. Ed Barnard has gone for just 3, and he's gone to play the reverse, and he's obviously just brushed off the face of the bat as he's gone to play it left-handed. And from the Bears' perspective, you'd say that's another waste of a wicket.
Yeah, another soft one for the Bears. Very, very good glove work by Tom Moore. It's never easy, even if there's a slight deflection or very, very big deflection. It's really hard work standing up. reverse sweep would have been unsighted, so good work from Tom Moores behind the stumps. Kai Smith is the new batter that walks through the crease.
Yeah, he's coming in at 6.
Yeah.
May or may not be the wicket keeper, and that's just a reminder. We haven't yet seen Alex Davis, who's
I'm surprised
on the
about
scorecard. Generally opens the batting, and he's sliding down and down and down the order. But Benny Howell's the fluctuation of a T20 bowler. First ball goes for 6, then a single to Webster, and then a little bit like Freddie McCann, the batter at the other end gives you a wicket, playing an extravagant reverse and gets it all wrong. First ball, Kai Smith eases it into the offside for a single, well fielded by Jack Haynes. Good stuff from him. 76 for 4, the Bears, here on BBC Radio Nottingham.
Yep. Sun slowly starting to come back out again.
Nice evening for those that are here till the end and then going on, as I'm sure a lot of the people do. Owl bowls, good solid meaty punch from Webster. Out to wide-ish mid-off. Comfortable second taken. 78 for 4. Webster 14 from 14. One ball left in the 11th. Started with Webster hitting Howell for 6 and ends with him getting a single. Benny Howell be a little annoyed with himself there. He dived over the top of the ball and I get a single. So 11 from it, 79 for 4, but another top order wicket goes. Ed Barnard, the dangerous Ed Barnard, out in that over, caught behind by Tom Moores. Just attempting to play a little reverse there, and it's a good catch actually by Tom Moore, standing up. Benny Howell's a punch in the air, absolutely delighted. 79 for 4 is the score. Again, the noise in the background, they're just trying to get all the youngsters in the Bridgeford Road stand just a little excited and get them to make some noise. Here's Liam Patterson-White, here's Kyle.
LPW in, and this is tickled around the corner by Bo Webster. Come through for a single, 80 for 4. Yep, Liam Patterson-White also changing in, so Joe Clark using his spinners really well. This is Liam's second over, so still going to see quite a bit of bowling from him. George Linder got one more. Freddie McCann, if they do choose to use him, more spin options. This one fired in, and Kai Smith pushing this one firmly down the ground to Ollie Stone, who does a lot of fielding on the boundary for a big fast bowler. He's got a rocket of an arm, doesn't he? Yeah. Thunderbolt.
I was just thinking actually, Freddie McCann, he might well be retired for the evening. 1 over 1 for 3.
It's pretty good stats. Not the worst retirement. Liam Patterson-White in, and this is pushed into mid-wicket where Joe Clark is stood, and he does the fielding. So once again, spin introduced, and once again a lot of dot balls, really challenging to rotate the strike. Bo Webster's almost been handicapped, can't get forward to get out as he defends this next ball from Liam Patterson-White. Back to the bowler. Webster the last. Not that any due disrespect to Kai Smith, he's a very, very good player. Bo Webster the last real recognised dangerous batsman to come. And this is pushed off the back foot down to deep backward point where George Linder, the South African, does the fielding. Yeah,
some decent players still to come. Alex Davis and Jordan Thompson can whack a ball. Chris Wokes can.
But starting to get into that territory where, you can't really afford to give it away softly like a couple of the other Warwickshire batters have done. Liam in, and off the back foot, Kai Smith is pushing this down the ground for a single. Busy cricketers, Kai Smith, and that's a very good tidy over again by Liam. A couple coming from that, 4 coming from that over, so really, really good bowling from Liam Patterson-White, and once again spin like we thought is going to be really challenging to get away. 83 for 4.
Yeah, only went for 4 runs, but the other thing, he was through the over in about 80, 85, 90 seconds at most, and suddenly you've looked up at the scoreboard and crikey, we're now through 12 overs. George Linder going to bowl his final over now, this time from the Stuart Broad end, the pavilion end here at Trent Bridge. 3 overs, 1 for 15. Obviously, the economy rate going at 5 and over. I think Notts would take that from this over. Smith is on strike. Linda bowls, and again off a thickish outside edge, it runs to George Munsey up inside the ring at short third. So dot ball to begin with. Linda went for 52 in that massacre at Derby last Friday. The return match is on Sunday afternoon here. Notts at home to Derbyshire. This one's cut into the off. Oh, and Jack Haynes didn't see it. It's gone for 4. Jack Haynes didn't see it. I don't know if you were looking towards Haynes, but he set off running to his left and then realised it was going well to his right. Absolutely didn't see it, and I think it would have been 2 runs in any case, but he set off running in the wrong direction and they get a boundary. Useful runs to the Bears, the winless Bears, played 4, lost 4. Desperately in need of getting the points this evening just to give themselves a faint hope of being able to turn something round in the second half of the qualification phase. Chopped away by Kai Smith for a single. So all the sides will play 6 matches. Then we have a little bit of break from this competition. Everybody plays 2 county championship matches, and then I think it's 3 weeks tonight. The blast resumes again with the final 6 matches in the group, so 12 group stage matches. Linda bowls, played down into the ground by Webster. 3 groups of 6 this year. You play 12 matches. The top 2 in each of the 3 groups automatically through to the quarterfinals. The 2 best third place teams join them. And at the moment, Notts are 5th in the North group with 1 win and 3 losses from their 4 matches. Floodlights on at Trent Bridge as Webster punts it down the ground to Ollie Stone for a single. And that is, now there's 1 ball left, 89 for 4. 1 ball left in the 13th, 1 ball left in George Linda's spell. His figures of 1 for 21. Bowling to Kai Smith. A lot of chat in the crowd. Smith will drop it on the leg side. He's not really looked to play a shot in anger yet, no. Kai Smith. Gets the single then, so that's 90. After 13 overs, 7 from that over. George Linda, 4 overs, 1 for 22, which is more than acceptable. Notts will take that all day long. George Linda will take that all day long. And we're into the final 7 overs then. Linda's bowled his 4. Nobody else has bowled more than 2. Patterson White, Ali and Stone have had 2. Pennington, McCann and Howell have had 1 apiece. So it can be exactly as Joe Clark wants it, really. He's going to entrust Liam Patterson White with a 3rd over, and why not? 2 overs, none for 7 for his England Lions spinner.
Yeah, Liam Patterson White to continue from the Radcliffe Road end. Goes full, and Kai Smith is inside edging this into his pad for no run. Yeah, he's looked just to be really busy as Kai Smith. I think he's played really nicely, just looking to understanding the situation. Doesn't require him to go out there and blaze it away, just tick it over. This is pushed into the offside. They're going to run the first one on. I'm not sure there's 2 to Ollie Stone and there's not. So there's good work out there by Ollie Stone to keep a 2-1, 91 for 4.
You're right with regards to Stone, though, in the field. He's doing each end of the ground, so he's having a quick old sprint at the end of each over.
Liam Patterson wide in, and this is off an outside edge and goes down to short third. Munsey does the fielding. They scamper through for a quick single. 1. Yeah, it's surprising because you don't see many fast bowlers do that, do you? Usually fast bowlers are not running long on to do the fielding. Kudos to Ollie Stone. Patterson wide in here, and Kai Smith just flicking it out into the leg side, and Jack Haynes does the fielding. What Notts have done really well is they've limited the 2s in the outfield. A few big pockets here at Trent Bridge, big playing area, playing surface. Loads of gaps, 2-run 2s, and fielders have done well to cut that off on the middle overs, and this again is squeezed through and it's beat the man at short third, and this will trickle away for 4. That will be frustrating. Liam Patterson-White's not done much wrong there. Spun away.
It's Munsey who couldn't drop on the ball at short third. Only played one real shot in anger, hasn't he, Webster? That's 6 from Howell's first ball. He obviously just fancied that, but gets a fortunate boundary there.
97 for 4 is the next ball from Patterson-White. Hones back in on the wickets and skids through, and Webster defending off the front foot. So at the end of the 14th, albeit a boundary came from that over, albeit that may look like an expensive over, 7 came from that, not too much damage for Notts. The end of the 14th is 97 for 4.
Yeah, this pair have put on 22 from 21 balls since Ed Barnard was dismissed. They've just sort of worked themselves into the start of a partnership. The crucial thing now for Warwickshire is whether they can go on, or certainly whether Webster can go on and be there at the end of the innings. If he can increase his scoring rate, then they can still get top side of 160, 170. But if Notts can just pick up a wicket now, just to derail the Warwickshire charge a little bit. Going to turn back to Dylan Pennington, who bowled the opening over of the innings. Just went for 6 runs. Just asking for third to drop down onto the fence, and then Stone has to come back in from long on to mid on. He's going to be bowling to Kai Smith. Here comes Dylan Pennington, chopped towards point. Munsey will field, and they only get a single. 98 for 4. Is now the time for Bo Webster to go, do you think? 23 from 24.
Yeah, you got to 6 overs, as I said. You can't just sit back and tick it around now. 130, 140 is not going to win you a game of cricket. It's not a 200 wicket, I think that's quite evident, but 170, 160, that's more than defendable on here.
Pennington to Webster. He's hit that hard, but straight to mid-off, and he won't get a run. Well fielded by Benny Howell. Nearly knocked him off his feet, but solidly behind it, Howell. Webster will feel he probably deserved 4 for that shot. Absolutely smacked that one out of the middle. Drilled it to mid-off, but Howell with a sliding stop.
He's tried to take your advice there, Dave, hasn't he?
98 for 4. Pennington in again to Bo Webster, bowled him. Leg stump out of the ground. Pennington wheels away in celebration. Leaps up into the air as if he scored a goal at Wembley. Huge celebrations for Notts. Big wicket. The Aussie Test man has gone. He's been cleaned up for 23. Dylan Pennington with the wicket. And just as we were saying, having just eased their way to a run-a-ball partnership there of 20-odd, they really needed to go on, and Webster just showing too much of his leg stump there, and Pennington found it with a lovely Yorker. Great bowling.
Yeah, really good bowling. We said the play was for Webster to try look to tick the score over, pick up the boundaries. He just walked too far across there, showed too much of the stumps. Pennington goes stump hunting, and leg stump is removed from the ground. It's a big wicket. We were talking earlier, when would we see Alex Davies? Well, he's walking to the crease now when the Bears are not 98 for 5.
Yeah, step down from the Bears club captaincy in the winter. Ed Barnard happy to take on that responsibility. Wants to focus on his cricket without the added responsibility of the team to worry about. Right-hander, began his career with Lancashire. These two, as I say, both wicket keepers, Kai Smith and Alex Davis, both can't do it later on. Davis by trade an opener finds himself in at 7. Here's Pennington to bowl to him, and straight away opens the face, runs it down to Linder at 3rd. And there's just a single, and it's 99 for 5. Loved the celebration.
Yeah, fantastic celebration. Just shows what it means, doesn't it? Getting nice and pumped. Friday night, Trent Bridge, good crowd in. A game that Notts know they need to win. 4 points that they could vitally do with.
Smith on strike. He's got 12. He's gone to try and pull this away on the leg side. He has, but couple of fielders down at long leg. Mo Ali couldn't grasp it the first time of asking, like a bar of soap, it wriggled away from him, and Kai Smith spotted that, galloped back for the second as the 100 comes up. 101 for 5. 1 ball left in the 15th.
Yeah. Kai Smith and Alex Davies will run really well between the wickets together. They're both quite quick.
Pennington been good in this over bowls. Now and a play and a miss through to the keeper. Good stuff from Dylan Pennington. 101 for 5. Bears need to go at 12 and over to a ball for the last 5 overs to get that 160 we've been talking about. Perfectly capable of doing that, of course, but at the moment they're in a bit of a hole, and that's thanks in that over to Dylan Pennington. Full pitch delivery, which Bo Webster wandered across his stumps, exposed his leg stump, missed the ball and had to go.
Benny Howe with his bright lime green wristband is into the attack. So again, a change of ends, and again I'm sure we'll see loads of pace off.
Yes, first ball of his first over, of course, went for 6, but the man who hit it, Webster's no longer there.
Howe in, Davies on strike, and this is turned round the corner down to deep square leg where Freddie McCann does the fielding. They come through for a single. 102 for 5.
Yes, I think it's probably spot on saying Freddie McCann would only get the 1 over. I mean, that was a real bonus, that wicket of Dan Mosley, but Mosley certainly culpable. Playing a attempted reverse sweep to a full pitch delivery and was palpably LBW.
Howe starts his approach, in he comes, and it's into Kai Smith, who can't quite get it away. It's a dot ball.
You have to remember, Kyle, that Warwickshire were 54 without loss.
Yep. We saw this earlier, didn't we? The Blaze were 52 for 1 after 6. Well, they were 60 for 1 after 6 overs. They sort of struggled and then got to a reasonable score. Not to hope not to get that done, as this has helped down onto the leg side for a single. Warwickshire really do need to get over 150 to be anywhere in the game. You would feel Notts have got a couple of batters that really fancy chasing this down. Howe is going to continue, goes slower ball, and this is hammered away through the offside, and that is fantastic fielding. Liam Patterson-White, brilliant work out there on the sweeper boundary on the offside, diving away, stops it one-handed, flicks it back inside the rope, it gets up and throws it in, and they can only get back for 2. He saved 2 there, and this is a Notts outfield that are purring at the moment. Everything seems to be clicking at the minute.
And I think all of the other 10 applauded him for that. Brilliant bit of fielding. Saved 2 runs.
Howe into the wicket, and that is out. There we go. Benny Howe celebrates to the crowd, says thank you very much. I'll take a wicket in each of my overs. What a lovely bit of bowling. Slower ball, back of the hand. It hasn't quite got up, in all fairness. And Alex Davies has shinned one in front of all 3 wickets. One of the easiest decisions that you'll ever have to make. The Bears lose their 6th, and Notts are right on top here.
And the fielding from the ball before, okay, it wasn't a significant factor in the wicket, but the more you stop, the more the pressure goes on the batting side, the more they're looking to play shots almost in desperation there. Alex Davies, he's got a good ball from Benny Howell, and the move to drop Alex Davies down to 7 in the order certainly didn't work. He trudges off, and 105 for 6. Notts were pretty poor, it has to be said, their first 3 matches. Much improved against Durham on Sunday, and even more so today. Maybe this much changed side now just starting to gel, getting themselves in a position where perhaps still they can turn it round and certainly challenge for one of the qualification spots.
Hal, Jordan Thompson, the new batter, in and gets a ball in the block hole, first ball. So another fantastic over by Hal, only 3 coming from that and a wicket. The Bears are 105 for 6 at the end of 16.
Yeah, just 4 overs to go now, and to be fair, not too much in the hutch. Thompson and Smith are out there at 7 and 8. There's Chris Wokes, there's Richard Gleeson, and there's Usman Tariq, who I'm really looking forward to see bowl live in the flesh for the first time. Extraordinary action he's got. There'll be a lot of eyes, not just mine, on him when he has a little bowl later on. There'll be plenty here, Kyle, that won't know too much about Usman Tariq, and they'll be shocked to see his action.
Yeah, I think there'll be quite a few gasps as soon as they see it.
There's Mo Ali back into the attack to bowl his third. Starts now with one down the leg side. That's what Notts don't want, a little bit of ill discipline, and he knows it because he's put his hands on his head in frustration at what he's done. It can sometimes happen, can't it, when you don't bowl for 20 minutes or half an hour with the captain bowling different players. You don't get the chance to sort of build up any rhythm. You've got to be ready for when the skipper says next one, and he's come on and he's bowled a big leg side wide first ball. 106 for 6. Kai Smith on strike, a runner ball 15 to the Bears wicket keeper. Ali bowls to him now, Yorker length delivery, which Smith has got something on, deflecting it down to long leg. And I presume there was a misfield down there from Dylan Pennington, just couldn't quite see it, and the groan from the crowd would indicate that Dylan Pennington couldn't quite gather it in. Just seeing it on the monitors now, and well, you can say he got a bobble or he didn't get a bobble or whatever. It should have been stopped. He's gone for 4. Yeah. So this over, racked with ill discipline, if you like. Leg side wide to begin with, shouldn't have happened. A misfield for 4 shouldn't have happened. 110 for 6.
Yeah, that'll be really frustrating for skipper Joe Clark and Mo Ali.
Smith has 19 now. Ali bowls to him, comes down the track, and just for a second there I thought he was going to run, which would have been the end of somebody's innings, because the ball stopped very close to the stumps and Mo Ali was scampering down just to flick it onto the stumps, but Smith got back in time. 110 for 6.
Yeah, the plan definitely looks just to go really full and straight to Kai Smith. Just Yorkers being bowled, or attempted Yorkers, just cramping Smith up for room. 110 for 6. What are you happy chasing here?
As few as possible. Here comes Mo Ali from the pavilion end in. Bowls again, bouncer. Smith swishes at fresh air, gets nothing on it as it goes through to wicket-keeper Tom Moores. Top scorer in the innings still the opener, Zen Malik with 29. Rob Yates and Bo Webster each making 23. Kai Smith's 19, not out. Not a lot else in this innings for Warwickshire, who the listeners won't want me to remind them, but I will. Have played 4, lost 4 in this season's competition. Real fall from grace for the Bears as Ali bowls. Again, it would have gone down the leg side. There's an appeal, presuming that's why it wasn't given. There's a leg bye nonetheless, signalled by Paul Pollard, and we have Nelson on the board. 111 for 6, the Bears, after 16.4 overs.
Yeah, that's great bowling. Ali's got such a lead for York. He's so skiddy. The old saying, nose and toes. First ball nose over Kai Smith's head, bouncer. Next ball speared in, absolutely speed alight at Kai Smith's toes, and all he can do is get some form of pad on it and come through for a leg bite.
All being well, he's here for Notts right up until the end of September. He's here for all the blast matches. He's here for the Metro Bank 50 over competition. He comes in now and bowls. Jordan Thompson will get his first run down the ground. 112 for 6, and there are 8 more county championship matches. Fergus O'Neill will still be here, the Australian, for the next 2, and then the last 6 Mo Ali will be eligible. And this is all assuming he doesn't get selected for the Pakistan tour of England. England, of course, playing New Zealand at the moment. 3 test matches. The 3rd one is here at Trent Bridge, and then they'll play Pakistan in 3 test matches. Hasn't featured for a while, Mo Ali. Bowls now, and almost helped into the hands of Tom Moores. Just couldn't quite reach it. Kai Smith scooping the ball very nearly picked out the wicket keeper, and it's the end of the over. 113 for 6 after 17.
Yep, tidy over in the end, that from Mo Ali. A couple of wides and some poor fielding by Dylan Pennington has cost him.
I'd like to see what he does with a red ball actually in the King Championship for Notts.
Could swing it round corners, you know. It could be nearly unplayable. Dylan Pennington, he's going to bowl his third. Liam Patterson-White still got one. You'd hope he would bowl one of the overs at the end. Dylan Pennington, change of ends. Radcliffe Road end, in he comes. Goes short,
Whoa.
This is pulled away. That will be 6. That will go halfway up the Smith-Cooper stand. That is a big swing by Kai Smith. Banged in, having him hit out to the long boundary, saying, go on, try clear that. And Kai Smith's gone, yep, sound, I'll do that. And he has. First ball 6, 119 for 6.
Yeah, not really played any shots in anger, Kyle Smith. Kai Smith until that one. Pennington's had a poor minute or two there. That one go through his hands for 4. Now first ball of a new spell goes for 6.
Dylan Pennington goes in, and a big appeal. I think that's going down the leg side. Sort of tried to cram Smith up for room, and off the pad. Think it was comfortably missing the stumps. Get through for a leg bye. So Bears now move on to 120 for 6. These next couple overs really important for Notts. Can't be ill-disciplined. Got to make sure that they tidy in the field, not giving away free runs. Make sure that they keeping the ball inside those all-important tram lines as well. Don't need to be bowling extra balls. Pennington, where's the number 18? Is into Thompson, and he's bowled him. Beautiful. Stumps everywhere. There's only one standing. Pennington's off on his jollies. He's having another big celebration. He's at the end of the 30-yard circle at square leg. Beautiful execution of a Yorker. And this over's gone 6. Leg by, stumps all over the place. Fantastic bowling.
That was like in the bowling alley, wasn't it? The ball going down and the pins flying in all directions. It happened with the stumps there. I think it was off and middle that went in different directions, both out of the ground, and again that Pennington celebration. And he's very, very pleased indeed to get rid of Jordan Thompson. Chris Wokes on his way out to the middle. What can you say about Chris Wokes that hasn't been said?
Yeah.
One of the England greats, a Warwickshire great. And what has he got in common with, well, what has he got in common with you?
He's played for Warwickshire.
And who else? Who else have you played for that he's played for?
Oh.
I'll let you think on it as he takes guard.
Pennington into Chris Wokes, who's defending this back to Dylan Pennington. No run. You stumped me here. Who else?
Well, who do I always say you've played for?
Not second 11.
Yes, he's played for not second 11.
When did he play for not second 11?
It's a while ago now. Must be 10 years or so ago, but England had a test series coming up and he hadn't played a red ball game for weeks and weeks and weeks, coming back from injury.
Pennington in goes slower ball, and this is carved away. That will be a 4. Chris Wokes, just don't need reminding, but he is a serious batter. Loads of first class hundreds, loads of test runs. He has no mug with the bat, so no width on offer. It's carved away for 4.
Must be about 10 years ago, and we asked if he could sort of be loaned to not seconds for one game.
Wow. Pennington in, and this is lofted over extra cover, and that will be 6, I think. It will be. So this is an expensive over in the end, a real expensive over. Lovely shot by Chris Wokes, just helping it over backward point for 6 runs. Really, really good cricket. So at the end of that one, it's 130 for 7.
Just to finish that story, it was against Worcestershire seconds at the Lady Bay ground, just 200 yards away from where we are now. In the first innings, He got a first ball naught from Ed Barnard, who's his teammate tonight, and in the second innings he got 98 not out.
Well, there you go. It is flat at Lady Bay, usually doesn't do much there.
Here's Muhammad Ali, 2 overs to go, 130 for 7, the Bears. Can they find a big finish? Oh, Kai Smith very nearly chopped on there. Mo Ali is always going stump hunting, right up in the block hole from the right arm quick. 131 for 7. Wokes back on strike. He's got 10 from 3. If he could double that in the course of this over, he'd be very pleased indeed. 131 for 7. Can they get 19 from 11 balls to get to 150? Just give their bowlers something to go at. Just make Notts think a little bit. 131 for 7. Wokes tapping his bat in his crease. Here's Ali to bowl. Oh, he's bowled him. Slower ball. Might have chopped it on. Chris Wokes shook his head and just gestured that it was the slower ball that he rolled his fingers on. And another Warwickshire player turns round to see the carnage behind him. Stumps being reset behind him as he wanders off. Whether he got a faint edge on it or not, it certainly came back a long way. Slower ball, fast off cutter, and he's got Chris Wokes out, bowled by Mo Ali for 10, 131 for 8.
Yeah, such good bowling by Mo Ali. Really, really clever. It's come back a long, long way. Chris Wokes absolutely bamboozled there by the tall Pakistan international. Bears lose their 8th.
Has been times in the past, certainly when he was with Lancashire, that Richard Gleeson could certainly give it a little bit of a tonk. I'm sure he's done it at Northants and at Warwickshire as well, but it's not happened when I've been watching him play against Nottinghamshire. But there was one day at Stanley Park, Blackpool, I seem to recall in the dim and distant past, he whacked a few out of the ground against Notts. There's Mo Ali to bowl to Richard Gleeson. Oh, and another one right in the block hole that he's just content to jab a bat down on and get a single. 132 for 8 with 9 balls left.
Yeah, Kai Smith now got to go to the end here. He's got to face the majority of the balls if you are Warwickshire. Notts, can they bowl them out? Can they stop them getting over 145? That would be a real big bonus. 140, maybe even. Mo Ali will certainly be honing in on those stumps with that fast in-swinging Yorker.
Kai Smith on strike on 27. Nobody in the Bears side has reached 30 yet in this innings. Ali bowls to him and he's gone hard at that one. And that's one for the over. It was dug in short by Mo Ali. That was a real effort ball, wasn't he? Bent his back. Everybody looking at square leg umpire David Mills, who's not at square leg, is at square point on the offside, and he just signalled to Paul Pollard that it was okay. 1 for the over. 2 balls left. 132 for 8.
He's got a sharp bouncer. That was fast. It's absolutely flown through, thudded into Tom Moore's gloves.
Got to go hard now if they want to get to 140. 132 for 8. Ali into Smith. He's mistimed this up to mid-on, and Benny Howell Fields decides not to shy at the stumps. 133 for 8. So Zen Malik, who opened the batting and made 29, will be the top scorer in this innings.
There's still an over left, Dave.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
Well, he might still be.
Beg your pardon. Yeah.
He might still be.
I was thinking it was a 19 over a side game for some reason. No, I wasn't. I was thinking this was the last over. One more over to go after this one. 133 for 8. Gleeson on strike on 1. Ali bowls him. Stumps again splayed. Terrific stuff from the Notts Quick in this innings. It really has been really good stuff. Mo Ali finishes with 3 for 27 from his 4 overs. They're his best figures for the Outlaws since signing. He's taken a wicket in every game that he's played, but his 6 from 4 matches now become 9 from 5. 133 for 9. Gleeson bowled by Ali for just a single. And there is, as Kyle quite rightly corrects me, 1 over left, and we will get to see Usman Tariq on his way out to the middle. It's a shame we won't have Muhammad Ali bowling to his countrymen. Very much, as I say, looking forward to seeing Tariq bowl. And he wears 00 as his number. What about that?
That is absolutely brilliant. I think it just sums up what I can only imagine is a fantastic character to play with. Really, really brilliant. And I don't know many people that have gone 0-0.
No.
Herschel Gibbs used to go 0-5, 0-6, 0-7. I don't know many other people that have usually gone a 0-0. But Ollie Stone to bowl the last one. Kai Smith on strike. Warwickshire with 1 wicket in hand. Notts with 1 over to bowl. And this is huge. Oh my word, this is massive. It's a big boundary. It's gone high as you like. Over the ropes on the leg side, and Ollie Stone's gone for 6 first ball, and Kai Smith moves to 34.
Yeah, top scorer in the innings, Kai Smith, set himself the pitched up delivery, heaved it away on the leg side. He'll have been pleased with that one, and you're right, air traffic control at East Midlands Airport will have picked that one up on the radar. Huge blow over towards the William Clark stand for 6.
Ollie Stone, how can he come back? Goes real full, and this is off the inside edge, turns down the single, which is probably the right thing to do.
That says a lot about his faith in Usman Tariq.
It does. But that's where you got to look to bowl, not this into the wicket stuff. Yorkers, you don't hit Yorkers for 6. You got to be there, got to be in the block hole, or at least take pace off. Ollie Stone tears in, goes length, and has got the wicket. Freddie McCann takes the catch. Ollie Stone picks up the wicket, and the Bears have been bowled out. 139 all out. Kai Smith has got to go for 34. Ollie Stone picks up his first wicket, even though he was a little bit expensive. 1 for 25 and 2.2 overs. Joe Clark, who won the toss earlier this evening, elected to bowl first, has bowled the Warwickshire Bears out, and they've got 140 runs to chase to win.
I think that's been very good indeed from Notts this evening. There's been 1 or 2 slight blips. There always is. Pennington on the boundary edge, let one go through him. But by and large, the catching has been excellent, the outfielding has been excellent, and the bowling has been particularly flamboyant and eye-catching. The stumps hit 3 times late on, once by Pennington, twice by Mo Ali, and the sheer joy of the bowlers as they sent the stumps cartwheeling out of the ground was in itself a joy to behold. For Warwickshire put into bat, Kai Smith top scoring with 34. He was last out, 34 from 28, 2 4s and 2 6s. Zen Malik made 29. His opening partnership with Rob Yates, who made 23, was the only substantial partnership of the innings, really. They made 54 before they were parted in the 6th over. Notts have been by far their best performance with the ball. Mo Ali leading the way with 3 for 27 from his 4 overs. Dylan Pennington 3 overs, 2 for 26. Benny Howell 2 overs, 2 for 15. Wickets also for George Linder, 4 overs, 1 for 22. Freddie McCann just the 1 over, 1 for 3. Liam Patterson-White, good to have him back in the side, gave nothing away, 3 overs, none for 14. And he was the only one not to get a wicket. So Notts will require 140, and we know they're prone to a collapse, we know they're prone to a poor batting performance, but they're up against a side that have played 4, lost 4. Confidence isn't high in the Warwickshire ranks, and surely there's no way that Notts aren't going to get 140, Kyle.
No, they won't have a better chance to get a win against a side, as you said, low on confidence, not in good form. They're at home chasing a score that, if they had offered Joe Clark at the beginning of the night, probably would have bitten your hand off for. So Notts, balls in your court, but unfortunately cricket is not played that simply on paper like that, and Notts still have to go out there and get the runs. But at the halfway stage, I'd be a very, very silly man to not bet on Notts.
Thank you, Kyle. More from Kyle when we come back in 7 or 8 minutes' time. Really good stuff this evening from Notts Outlaws in the field. They bowled Warwickshire out for 139, and the revival, which began with the win over Durham on Sunday, seems to have continued this evening. 140 Notts will require when we come back. In the meantime, I'll hand you back to the BBC Radio Nottingham studios, where I'm sure Adam Hassel will bring you up to speed with all the other evening's cricket and other sporting news. Been pretty good, Adam, this evening.
Welcome to East Midlands Airport. Or should we say, the easiest Midlands Airport. The airport at the heart of the UK, flying to over 70 destinations. The easier airport with faster check-in and security that gives you extra time to relax and get in last-minute shopping. The airport that gets the kids on board before they get bored. East Midlands Airport, the easiest way to get away. To book your next holiday, visit eastmidlandsairport.com.
Muncie got 88 not out on Sunday.
The Outlaws, target of 140 to win.
Thank you very much, Adam. Perfect timing. The players have just taken the field for the Nottinghamshire run chase. Notts Outlaws require exactly 140 to win. 7 and over. Should be very much within their capabilities, but don't underestimate a side that is going to be led in the field by Chris Wokes with the ball. He's got the responsibility of bowling the first over. The two Notts openers, Joe Clark, been woefully short of runs in this season's competition. He'll be on strike at the non-strikers end. George Munsey, who hit 88 not out of 50 balls or so in the win over Durham at the weekend. See ball, hit ball.
That's all.
Get it done with.
That's all you got to do. Joe Clark is due. So can we see some fireworks from the Notts skipper, Chris Wokes? In to Clark, who's pushing this away through the offside, and that will be a 4 first ball. And in terms of how run chasers get off, the only way it could have been better if it went for 6. That's a great start for Notts. Short and wide outside the off stump, and Joe Clark off the back foot cuts this away through the offside for 4. Glorious stroke.
Yeah, that'll please Clark. Nice one out of the middle.
Chris Wokes from the Stuart Broad end gets a little bit tighter, and Joe Clark guides this past short third man. That will be back-to-back boundaries. We were debating who was going to keep, and we've got Alex Davies is keeping, not Kai Smith. The former Bears club captain has got the gloves on, light grey gloves. I don't think I've ever seen those before. Chris Wokes, back-to-back boundaries now. Warwickshire in dark blue trousers, light blue shirts, yellow numbers in, and this is flicked away on the leg side by Joe Clark. Dan Mosley on the boundary out there does the fielding. So 9 for no loss, brings George Munsey onto strike, and I unfortunately was not here on Sunday, so I didn't watch him do the destructive innings that, well, we know he's so capable of doing, and what he's built a really big reputation around.
What I was a little surprised about was this is his 4th different county he's played in the Blast. He's not played in it for a while, but he's had bit parts with 3 other counties, and that was his first 50 in this year's competition.
Wokes into Munsey, who's off the back foot defending, pushing it back to Chris Wokes, no run.
They were all sort of before 3 years or so ago. George Munsey went round the counties a little bit, 10 or 12 games in total, but that was his first half century. Went on to get 88 not out. Of course, over the last couple of years he's had a really good strong taste of international cricket with Scotland. Accomplished player at that level.
Wokes into Munsey, who's guiding this down to third, where Usman Tariq does the fielding. Underarm throws it. I'm not quite sure if any of you watched the way Hashim Amla used to throw it, almost an underarm throw in. That's probably exactly how I would describe that one. So 10 for no loss, 1 ball remaining. Brings skipper Joe Clark onto strike. Notts just ticking over nicely after the first 2 balls went for a single. This will come for another single as well. So Nice start for the Outlaws. They got off to the perfect start, chasing 140. They're 11 for no loss after one.
Yeah, the Bears were 8 without loss after 2 overs, so already knots ahead. Anyway, Warwickshire are going to win this if they can pick up wickets. Winkle knots out. Going to be Richard Gleeson, former Lancashire and Northants quick. His first game of this year's competition, back in the side after injury. Tall man, right arm, medium fast. He was certainly quick enough to be called right arm fast at the peak of his career. Seems to have got a bit of drag because he's got a towel, a cloth sticking out the back of his trousers. He runs away from us, bowls the first ball to Clark, who just uses the pace on the ball to open the face and guide it down to third for a single. Outlaws up to 12 without loss. So Notts set to score 140 if he's just joining us. T20 cricket from Trent Bridge, Notts Outlaws versus the Warwickshire Bears. And Notts have done a good job with the ball so far this evening. They bowled Warwickshire out in the final over of their innings for just 139. And Notts, who lost their first 3 matches in the group, defeated Durham on Sunday in their 4th, now looking to make it 2 wins and 3 losses ahead of a local derby against Derbyshire here on Sunday afternoon. Here's Gleeson, be bowling to George Munsey, and Munsey chops it into the offside. That's been nicely fielded there by Kai Smith. The throw was a little errant, but there were plenty of backer-uppers, so it didn't cost him anything. Thought he batted nicely, Kai Smith. He was content just sort of to go under the radar when he was batting with Bo Webster principally. But once Webster had got out and he was left with the lower order, who kept being dismissed cheaply, he just grasped the nettle and played some big shots himself. Gleeson comes in again to bowl to Munsey. Played away square of the wicket on the leg side. Is that a run? It is a run. He got some batter. I just wondered if that had ricocheted off his hip or something.
Yeah.
He almost sort of reared himself into the ball, not to put it too impolitely. Just banged in short, leg sidey, and he sort of flinched towards the ball, but clearly there was a little bit of contact with the bat. Gets a single. 13 without loss. Just getting a little chilly, and the night drawing in as this is pushed into the offside by Clark, and there's no run, or rather the clouds are getting a little darker. Don't think there's any particular threat of rain until in the night. Don't think tomorrow's supposed to be a particularly night day for anyone who might be contemplating bowling leg spin in club cricket matches tomorrow.
Tomorrow's a good day for ducks, I think. Apart from that, not much else.
You might get a point tomorrow.
I don't want to really talk about club cricket. We lost by 1 wicket last Saturday and 1 run the game before.
Blame the captain. Gleeson bowls, worked away by Clark onto the leg side. Can they push for 2 here? And there was a misfield out there by Jordan Thompson.
Good run.
They didn't really have to take a risk after all that. Jordan Thompson had got to the ball quickly. They settled on 1, and then Thompson took his eye off it, just slipped away from him, so they galloped back for a second. 15 without loss, 1 ball left in the second over.
Yeah, good batting by Joe Clark. Again, got the really big over the over before. So we've only gone for 4 so far. 1 ball remaining. Nothing silly. Get through it. Always will get bad balls that you'll score off.
Clark on 13, and he's again, as he did at the start of the over, open the face and run it down to third for a single. So he'll keep strike. He's seen far more of it than his partner. Clark 14 from 8 deliveries. Munsey 2 from 4, not 16 without loss. After 2 overs, set to score 140, and all going along swimmingly well at the moment for the Outlaws. Need 124 more from 18 overs.
Yep, Chris Wokes to bowl his second. Richard Gleeson screaming at, I can't imagine Oliver Hannendalman, because he could be the nicest person in the ground today. Just obviously wanted something, maybe a painkiller or some sort of pills that it's not particularly warm, so I can't imagine he's thirsty, but had Oliver Hannendalman run him out something to drink.
I think it's a tablet of some sort that he put in his mouth, and then a gulp of water.
16 for no loss. Joe Clark on strike. He's 14 off 8. Chris Wokes in, and Clark throwing his hands at this ball. Slashes out to cover where Kai Smith does the fielding. And this time a much more tidy throw into wicketkeeper Alex Davis. You thought that wicketkeeper unions would look after each other with throws, wouldn't you, Dave?
Yeah, Davis, as always, has his shirt untucked, and it's almost right down to his knees. It's almost like the young ladies used to wear a miniskirt that Davis is wearing. That look about it.
Wokes is in, it's got a nick, and it's a great catch by Davis. Diving away to his right. Full stretch, takes the catch, and Notts lose their first. Joe Clark flashing hard at it. Gets a big outside edge, and Davis takes the catch. His poor form in white ball cricket continues. Can't quite translate the red ball form into the white ball. Notts lose their first. They're 16 for 1.
Yeah, Clark's scores in this year's T20 Blast 1, 21, 9, 11, and now 14. Made from 10 balls with 2 fours. Captain won't be there to anchor this run chase. Freddie McCann on his way out to the middle. In fact, it's not, it's Jack Haynes, so that's something else that Notts have changed this evening. Pushing Haynes in ahead of Freddie McCann. Don't necessarily see anything wrong with that. Haynes scores of 20, 14, 45 and 10 so far. Got into double figures all 4 innings without reaching a 50. He's got a chance here for a little bit of time at the crease. Good player, Jack Haynes.
Yeah, really handy. It was in this fixture last year that he got his highest score in T20 cricket, at 89 not out of that absolutely phenomenal run chase against the Bears.
I just wonder if it's the right hand left hand thing.
Yeah, I think so. A lot of sides opt for it nowadays, don't they? Right hand, left hand. Someone will always be swinging away to a shorter boundary, or there won't always be one match-up. This is banged in off a length by Chris Wokes and played into the offside, no run. Yeah, we always see it now. It means that if an off spinner comes on, it's only taking the ball away from one batsman. If it's a leggy, they're the same thing.
I'm just looking. Freddie McCann, left-hander. Tom Moore's left-hander. Jos Linder, left-hander. Liam Patterson-White, left-hander. So the next 4 on the card.
Chris Wokes into Jack Haynes, and this is played into the leg side to Mosley, who will do the fielding out there.
Seen them in the past open the bowling with Mosley, actually.
Yeah, bowls really, really fast off spin, doesn't it?
Yeah. Decided against that this evening.
How long until we see Usman Tariq?
Look a little chilly in the Notts dugout. The pictures we can see on the live stream.
Stephen Mullaney does not look warm. He's from Lancashire as well. That's crazy. I think it's a lot colder up there, wouldn't you?
It's supposed to be a hard rugby league man, Stephen.
This is in by Chris Wokes, and it's beat Muncie. All ends up, goes away from him through to wicketkeeper Alex Davies. What a ball that is. That's a phenomenal ball. Maybe when I see Stephen, I'll have a nice conversation with him about St Helens. Wonder who he supports. It won't be St Helens.
You know, he's Lee. Lee, L-E-I-G-H.
Ah, I thought you said rugby league.
Yeah, rugby league, and his team is Lee.
Ah. Wokes in, and this is down the leg side. I'll have to re-bowl this one. Sorry, I misunderstood you completely. How do you... when on earth have you been speaking about rugby league with Stephen Mullaney?
Stephen Mullaney talks about rugby league.
And you listen? Or pretend you're listening and switch off? Goodness. Wow. Well, you learn something new every day, Dave.
It's not Lee Leopards, is it? But It's Lee Rugby League.
I'll have a look at that in a bit. 18 for 1 as Wokes is in, and this is over cover, and that will be a 4. So Notts pick up a boundary in the over, even though they lost the wicket of captain Joe Clark. It's 22 for 1 at the end of the third.
Yeah, same stage, Warwickshire were 21 without loss, so despite losing that wicket of Joe Clark in that over, Notts a 1 run better off. Nice to see Munsey again striking the ball cleanly, getting his first boundary. Going to be Richard Gleeson to have a second over.
Yeah, they're just called Lee.
Yeah.
You are right. I'm wondering if it's Lee something.
Is it Lee Leopards?
Well done.
There's Gleeson. It's ball to Jack Haynes. He's got a single. Bowls now, and that's tickled away for 4 runs by Haynes. It was a ball from wide on the crease by Gleeson towards the right-hander, but it would probably, if Haynes hadn't been there, have missed leg stump. So it was bowled on that sort of line, and all it needed was Haynes to tickle it away down to long leg for 4 runs. Got the man up, Osman Tariq, inside the ring. But it was well to the left of him and away for 4. Good start to the over for the Outlaws. Good start for Jack Haynes. He's on 5. Munsey has 6. 26 for 1. Gleeson just try and adjust his line somewhat. Dropped on the leg side. There was nearly a coming together there of Gleeson trying to rush and get the ball as Munsey tried to make his ground at the other end. Leg by is the outcome. 27 for 1. Notts Outlaws needing 113, and Jack Haynes is left hobbling. That's struck him in a painful place somewhere. Despite all the padding, you can still get quite a sharp blow inside the leg or the back of the leg.
I think it's just like hit the top of the pad where there's not as much padding. Give you a little bit of a dead leg on the thigh there. Richard Gleeson does not bowl it slowly. That I can assure you. Bowls thunderbolts.
Doesn't. He was seriously quick at one stage in his career, and he's still getting it down at a decent rate of knots, no pun intended. A swish and a miss from Munsey. The next ball goes through to the keeper. 27 for 1. Warwickshire need wickets. Notts just need to execute a cold and calculated run chase here. Make sure they get over the line. 140 shouldn't be too much of an issue. But they've already lost a wicket, that of Joe Clark, I beg your pardon. Jack Haynes out there at 3. George Munsey on strike. Stands with his bat held aloft and drops it on the offside, and there's a sharp single. In comes Zen Malik with a underarm flick towards the stumps. He was actually a mile away, but it was a nicely judged single in the end. 28 for 1.
As soon as they dropped that on the offside and I saw Zen Malik running towards, they got there a lot quicker than I thought he would. I thought this could be a run-out opportunity. They were home comfortably in the end. It's just starting to get a little bit nippy, isn't it? Breeze, you can just see everyone out there wearing jumpers, out in the crowd. Still a good showing out here at Trent Bridge this evening.
Yeah, it'll be done in about an hour, one way or another. 28 for 1. Gleeson to bowl to Haynes. Again pushes it into the offside. Set off running, needed to be sent back by Munsey. That would have been a high risk strategy indeed to try and pinch another sharp single there, pushing it straight to the fielder. Of course, you sometimes get away with it if it's a wild throw. But no need to take that sort of risk. I know they want to keep the board moving. Don't let pressure build. Well aware that the easiest time to find the boundary is in the first 6 overs. This is the final ball of the 4th. 28 for 1. Haynes on strike. Richard Gleeson bowls, and he'll pull this out on the leg side. Protection out there with Jordan Thompson. Single taken. 29 for 1 after 4.
Yeah, good bowling there by Richard Gleeson again. Just been really, really consistent there. Not giving the batters much at all.
Another double header on Sunday. The opposition different in the double header. The Blaze start at 11 o'clock against Lancashire women, who they've already defeated at Old Trafford, and then from 2:30 or 3 o'clock the Outlaws face Derbyshire. We'll have a check on that. Jordan Thompson, the former Yorkshire all-rounder, is coming into the attack. Just have a little look for you as to what time the Sunday start is. It is 3 o'clock.
Thompson in, and this is hammered away. There will be 6. Welcome to the crease, Jordan Thompson. Jack Haynes walks across his wickets and flicks us into the Fox Road stand for 6. Glorious, glorious shot by Jack Haynes.
I would say nearly all of the sixes hit this evening have been from the first ball of an over, and in several instances it's been the first ball of a spell. Benny Howell certainly disappeared first ball of a spell. Pennington did. There were 1 or 2 more, weren't there? Ollie Stone, the final over of the innings.
Yes. Yep, very, very true. Thompson, how can he reply? And this is pushed straight back down the ground. Glorious cricket shot. Absolutely phenomenal. One of the most perfect straight drives you will see. There's so much time in the game for proper cricket shots, and this is absolutely gorgeous from Jack Haynes. 2 fabulous shots today that leave you purring. One, believe it or not, was from Grace Ballinger coming in at number 9 for the Blaze, that extra cover drive for gorgeous. 4. Absolutely fabulous shot. And that one from Haynes. The shot before earned him 6, that one only earned him 4, but as Kyle said, that was a textbook straight drive down the ground. Couldn't have hit that any sweeter. Thompson gone for 10 in his first 2, and this is pushed down the ground again. And again, a really wayward throw there by Captain Hid Barnard, who apologises to his keeper to say, look, I'm so sorry. Thank goodness for Usman Tariq, who was doing the backer uppering. 11 from the first 3, not 40 for 1. Doing a really good job of breaking the back of this chase as early as possible. Yep, need exactly 100. Thompson into Muncie, who's pushing this down the ground, and they run a quick single again. Chris Wokes doing the fielding there at mid-on. Can't keep them to no run, so they scamper through for a single. 41 for 1. Haynes 17 off 9 and Muncie 8 off 9. We're just starting to hear the crowd getting into it a little bit. It's nice to hear Trent Bridge a little bit vocal. I don't think they're singing "Oh Michael Van Gerwen," but it sounds like it. Yeah, that sounds exactly like that. Thompson in, slower ball down the leg side. He'll have to re-bowl that. I think he could. They could be singing "Oh Michael Van Gerwen." I'm not sure he's playing tonight. Well, there might be. I don't know. There might be somebody in the crowd that they've picked out. I don't know, but that's the cry you hear at the darts, isn't it? But that's what it sounded like. It was good. So Jordan Thompson, expensive over this. 13 coming from it, still 3 balls to go. Not heard too much from the Tannoy man since not started their reply. No. This is carved away into the offside. Kai Smith, who's been really, really tidy out in the field today, does the fielding. 43 for 1. Yeah, and he's the wicket keeper, of course, or one of the 2 wicket keepers. Yeah, usually your wicket keepers are always good in the field, good in the inner ring, diving around, but very often don't have a throw, don't have an arm. That's why they adopt the wicket keeping gloves and really practice it. But Kai Smith's got a good arm. They must have found someone that looks like Martin Van Gerwen in the crowd. Thompson into Muncie, who's hammering this down the ground. Has he got enough of it? He does, I think. It does go for 6. Glorious, glorious striking. And that is a huge over for Notts. 20 comes off it. It's 49 for 1 after 5. And that was the dreaded 7th ball in the over that went for 6. In fact, the over was bookended by 6s, wasn't it? Jordan Thompson beginning and ending the over with 6. Not had a great day so far. Jordan Thompson was mopped up, stumps flying everywhere by Dylan Pennington. Only made a single, and his first over has gone for 20. Notts
49 for 1. At the same stage, the Bears were 49 without loss, but then they sort of got their feet stuck in treacle a little bit and had some really poor overs once that opening partnership had been broken, and then wickets just continued to tumble. Dan Mosley is going to come into the attack. One of the senior hands these days in this Bears side. Been around the club since a young boy. Academy product. Comes in to bowl the crucial 6th over with his right arm off spin. It's going to be bowling to Jack Haynes to begin with. Haynes has got a flyer, 18 from 10. There is Mosley. Floats it up and hit away by Haynes through the offside for 4. Great start to the over again for Notts. Jack Haynes bumped up to number 3 in the order. He's looking the part. Lovely shot.
Yeah, such good batting, Jack Haynes. Just over pitched by Mosley, and just a cover drive off the back foot. Something that Viv Richards would be really proud of. Goes through extra cover for 4.
You can't remember Viv Richards.
I've seen enough videos. I would have loved to watch him. He would go well at Trent Bridge in the T20 era, wouldn't he?
50 years ago today, I was on this ground watching Viv Richards bat.
How do you remember that?
53 for 1. Here's Mosley. This is dropped on the leg side. Single for Haynes. I tweeted about it yesterday. It's 50 years since probably the most famous test match on this ground. In more recent times, I guess, people would, I'm sure, put the Stuart Broad Ashes 8 for up there as well, but the famous West Indies grovel test of 1976, 50 years ago. Attended all the days of that, where Tony Gregg foolishly said he was going to make them grovel. It didn't quite work out like that. Viv Richards getting a double 100. Andy Roberts and Wayne Daniel bowling quickly. Single taken here by Munsey for a single. 55 for 1.
Well before my time, that, Dave.
Mosley bowls, and this is hit towards us. Now, is it going to reach us? Not quite. It's just not quite reached the gantry on the middle tier of the Radcliffe Road stand. Just dropped down below us. That, I would imagine, would have been fairly close to the front window of the press box downstairs. Huge 6 from Jack Haynes. Certainly got hold of that. It'd be nice to see from the other end what it hit, where it hit. Oh, we might get another go here, Kyle. We might get another go. Just again, not quite reaching us. Same spot. 6 more from Haynes. This is tremendous ball striking. And Dan Mosley said at the start of the over, he's not well, I said Jordan Thompson didn't have a great day. Dan Mosley didn't either. Here is that shot from the other end, coming somewhere towards us. Didn't quite reach us and didn't quite hit the press box, but David Milnes again pointing both arms towards the sky. 67 for 1, and this over 12, 16, 18 from it, and there's 1 ball left. The last over went for 20. This one has gone for 18 from 5, and Mosley decides to go round the wicket to Haynes, who's on a flyer. 35 from 14, and he will drill this to mid-off, and he's hit it too quickly to pinch a single. And Notts, after the power play, after the 6 overs of the power play, are romping towards victory. They're 67 for 1. The 50 partnership from just 22 balls. Jack Haynes, absolutely terrific. 35 of them from just 15 balls.
Yeah, really good batting, Jack Haynes. Just really, really good batting. Slamming down Mosley down the ground for a couple of big 6s. But the man that I think everyone's come to see, the man that has put the pause in actions. Osman Tariq went viral, didn't he, in the T20 World Cup?
Find me a bit of paper. I've found a description of his.
I'd love to hear this.
Of his bowling action. I'll find it at some point. I'll find it. There we are. Osman Tariq bowls low round arm delivery with mid-stride pause and a bent elbow.
Tariq, who's just done that in 2 months, he blocks it out to extra cover, no run. Yeah, Osman Tariq runs in, gets into almost like the drill-like pose, poses like a flamingo and then delivers his ball. Tariq in, pauses, waits for the batter. Muncie pushing it out to backward point, no run. It's almost like when a penalty taker will stutter in his run up, waiting for the batter to, or the keeper in that aspect, to make a move. Tariq pauses, waits for the batter to make a move. He does have the doosra, spins it both ways. He's a really good cricketer, the Pakistan international.
Got a bandana on as well, bandana boy.
Yep. Tariq in. Muncie defending this out to backward point, no run. He is an absolute brilliant man to watch bowl.
You mentioned Viv Richards. He'd be down there having a word. He'd be having a word with the umpire.
He'd be saying that you can't do this. Yeah. This is not allowed.
Well, it is allowed. He's been passed legal. He's been tested by the ICC, and they've passed this bowling action to be in accordance with the regulations.
Tariq in with his natural pause, throws this one in really fast. I think that was his sort of out the front. He's got a bag of tricks here, does Usman Tariq. He's bowled 4 balls and he's bowled 4 dots here at Muncie. He's 15 off 15.
You should improve your game bowling a little bit like this.
Yeah, maybe. I'll try it tomorrow. This one in, and again just guided down to third, no run. So Muncie, in all fairness to him, left-hander, ball spinning away from it. It's a tough matchup.
This is 5 dots.
This is 5 dots in a row. And the run rate has gone down from nearly 12 to 9.8. Not that it makes much of a difference. Not only require 5.5. Tariq in. Extra long pause that time. That's fired down the leg side. And that will be a wide. Goodness me, that he paused there for ages and ages and ages. Time stood still.
This is extraordinary stuff. Wearing 0-0 on his back.
You can't write it, folks. You can't. Tariq in, paused, down the leg side, and this is swept out to deep mid wicket for a single and an over. That is quite hard to describe, really. But at the end of it, Notts are 69 for 1, 2 from it. And Notts have allowed themselves, the way that they've bowled, the way that they've batted so far, that they don't need to take too many risks against the dangerous Usman Tariq. You can knock it around, take on the other bowlers, and they still can get to 140 comfortably.
It's not hard to describe. He bowls with a low round arm delivery with a mid-stride pause and a bent elbow. There we are.
I don't know. The pause. Ravi Ashwin's probably the person that invented that hold and pause, and we've seen a couple of other bowlers do it along the over the years, but nothing like Usman Tariq.
Rob Yates is sporting a magnificent moustache these days. To bowl to Muncie, moves on 16, another spinner into the attack from round the wicket. Muncie will drag this away down towards the long leg. There's protection out there. I think there should have been 2 there.
I agree.
Like you say, they don't really need to do anything silly. They're halfway there, 70 for 1. Need another 70 from 77 balls. Really need to make a mess of this to not get home from here. Of course, they could boost their net run rate as well with a big win. Yates bowls short and pulled away out to deep mid wicket, out to Jordan Thompson by Jack Haynes for his 36th run. 71 for 1. Notts Outlaws just joining us, playing Warwickshire, who were bowled out for 139. There's Yates, bowls to Muncie, and claiming LBW there, Yates. In fact, he's not claiming it, he's run off celebrating it, only has to turn around and look at the umpire and then bite his tongue and come back. Never for one moment did I think that was within 2 stumps down the leg side of being out. Perhaps save the leg by. Yates in again to Muncie, down the leg side, and he's just paddled that away for a single. Didn't bat very well once the openers were parted, Warwickshire, but it's by no means their worst performance against Notts. They were bowled out in 2021 at Edgbaston for just 63. Jake Ball taking 4 for 11, Calvin Harrison 4 for 17. 72 for 1. This is Haynes again, and I think he's going to perish, and he is. He's hit it straight down the throat of Mosley. He'll be glad to see the back of him. Mosley at mid-off takes the catch and then drop kicks the ball back from the long off fence back towards the umpire, who I'm sure won't be too thrilled about that. Jack Haynes is out for 36, a wicket for Rob Yates, and Notts a 72 for 2 in the 8th.
Yeah, Jack Haynes looking to hit this over extra cover, a little bit of spin, gets it 2 straight. You can see he's walking off, he's pretty frustrated with that. Jack Haynes, really well played, 36, but one shot too many in the end. Notts lose their second at 72 for 2, and in walks Tom Moores.
So it will be the inevitable all left-hand matchup. Freddie McCann, well, dropping down the order. He only bowled to 1 over, 1 for 3, his figures, and just saving him. Should he be required? Here comes Tom Moores, whacked 75. This time last week at Derby, an unbeaten 75 in that losing run chase against Derbyshire. Notts got over 200, but they're set to score, I think, 235. Despite Tom's best efforts, they couldn't get there. That's a best of 80 not out in T20 Blast. Getting up towards 200 matches in this format. Here is Yates, then round the wicket. Ooh. It's quite sharp turn there, well taken by Davis. End of the 8th, the Outlaws 72 for 2. They're 10 runs ahead of where Warwickshire were at the same stage. They've lost Joe Clark for 14, Jack Haynes for 36, but 68 from 72 should certainly be well within their capabilities. Well within their wheelhouse seems to be the current cricketing term, doesn't it? I'm not entirely sure where it's come from, but I hope it disappears back from whence it came. Well within his wheelhouse. Bo Webster, the Aussie, who can bowl right arm medium pace or right arm off spin. Keeper standing up, looks as if it's going to be the latter.
Yeah, right arm off spin for Bo Webster. 2 left-handers at the crease. Not sure why Usman Tariq's not continuing. Webster in and Muncie on the switch hit. Not sure if he's gloved it or it's come off a pad, but rolls back down on the offside. No run. 72 for 2. The tall Australian gets this one down into the wicket, and Muncie off the back foot just turns it round the corner and they get through for a single. 73 for 2. We know Tom Moores, well, he won't hang around. He plays quite a lot of shots. He looks to go after spin quite a lot, so should be interesting to see how he's going to play this one. Webster in, Moores off the back foot, pushes this on the leg side. They come through for a single. Notts could do it in singles.
Yeah, I was just going to say the leg side field's all out on the boundary, so just play yourself in, just knock 3 or 4 singles on the leg side just to get attuned to the pace of the wicket. Just get your innings started nicely, and then if you get a poor ball, there's more chance that you'll be able to put it away to the ropes.
Webster in. This time the switch hit goes all the way for 4. Lovely shot. He didn't get the first one. He's got the second one as Muncie, and this is good batting. 6 from the over so far. First boundary of the over.
He's on a good streak here, Muncie. 88 not out on Sunday. 23 not out with power to add here.
Webster in, switch it again, and this is swept away down to sweeper where Mosley will do the fielding. 80 for 2. Beg your pardon, 79 for 2. So Notts once again well ahead of where sort of Duckworth Lewis par score puts them. Not that it is going to rain, it's just as a guide. Tom Moores is defending off the front foot from Webster back to the bowler, no run. So at the end of the 9th over, Notts find themselves 79 for 2. 13 runs ahead of where the Bears were with a wicket better.
Notts get over the line. It will be 1-2, lost 3. Looks a little better than played 3, lost 3. Certainly if they can beat Derbyshire as well on Sunday. just gets themselves back in with a sniff of being able to conjure up something with the 6 matches to come. Going to be Usman Tariq from this end of the ground, the Radcliffe Road end. Don't know if that's an admission that they got him on at the wrong end to begin with, or in fact it's not. It's Rob Yates. It was when Tariq had the ball and came up to the to this end. But they've gone with Yates again. Bowls to the left-handed Muncie. Another confident shout. In fact, he's down on one knee, pleading. And generally, David Milnes, especially if you're asking him to buy you a drink, generally would say no. In that instance, 79 for 2. Lovely fella. Clipston native in these parts. Had 2 spells with Notts. David Milnes. Always happy to talk the game. Single scampered as it's run by Muncie to short third. 2 fine men of the game, actually. The 2 umpires this evening, 2 of the senior umpires on the circuit now, David Milnes and Paul Pollard. 80 for 2. Yates bowls. Tom Moores kept a whisker low, I fancy. Pitched it up there, Rob Yates, and Tom Moores just backing away, trying to pull it on the leg side. And as I say, I just got a feeling it kept a whisker low, went under the bat and bowled him. And Rob Yates has got another one.
Yeah.
Will enjoy bowling on this ground. He actually got Ben Duckett out in the championship match in April. Tom Moores has gone for just a single.
Yeah, Rob Yates just bowling this one a little bit flatter. Not entirely short, was that short, but it most certainly hasn't got up as much as Tom Moores expected it to. And well, the stump has been removed. And I like this. I know Freddie McCann is sliding down the batting order, but I don't think with as many off spinners that the Bears have, and Usman Tariq has still got 3 overs left, they could send in another left-hander. So in comes Benny Howell.
I mean, I just wonder with Freddie. Obviously, the last county championship match, he got a nasty blow on the thumb, and he had to be replaced in the game. Went off. I think the initial X-rays that were a little bit unconclusive. They felt he'd broken his thumb. When he got back and they had the second set of X-rays, it didn't appear to be that bad. Has played since then, but you just wonder if in bowling or fielding, perhaps he got another blow on the hand. Don't know. As Howell's first ball pushed back to the bowler, get off. It rolls on the Test match strip, which is covered. Had a good old rolled about on it. 80 for 3. 2 balls left in the 10th over. Notts requires 60. Now it'll be 59, although Howells has to run and just about gets home. It's a sharply scampered single. 81 for 3. I'd like to think it's just a case of just giving 1 or 2 more, a little bit of batting practice going forward, and that Freddie is okay. 1 ball left in the 10th. Yates 2 for 5. Comes in to conclude his second over. Bowls to Muncie. Can't get this one away. And after 10 overs, 81 for 3. The halfway stage of the Bears' innings, they were 68 for 3. They soon became 75 for 4 and then 98 for 5. 81 for 3, 59 required.
Still no Usman Tariq. I'm desperate to commentate on him.
Well, you've had 1 over of him.
I know. I wonder if he's done something to his finger as he's running through. Looks like he's holding his hand, doesn't it? It's old Usman Tariq. But Bo Webster is now going to bowl. What's he going to bowl?
Well, he asked, didn't he?
He did.
You could see on the live stream there, he was asking, making the signal, do you want me to bowl seam up or do you want me to bowl spin? And they're going with pace off again.
So Bo Webster to continue. Right arm round the wicket, bowling slow spin. And this is pushed down the ground. Back to the bowler by Benny Howell. No run. Notts 81 for 3 earlier on today. Notts. Joe Clark won the toss, elected to bowl, beg your pardon. This next one is short and wide outside the off stump and cut into the offside. They run 3 for 1.
Both sides have used 7 different bowlers.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like a test match as well. We've had 13 wickets go down in 30 overs.
Yeah, a lot of wickets today.
Yeah.
Warwickshire will be hoping there's a few more left. 82 for 3. Bo Webster bowling to Muncie, who's sweeping this one away. It will only go straight to Kai Smith at deep square, who does the fielding. 1 run, 83 for 3. Muncie just less than a runner ball. 26 of 28. Howell new to the crease. One big over away really from killing the game. 57 needed off 57. And this is going straight to the man on the boundary, and Notts are faltering a little bit here. Chris Wokes takes the simplest of catches. Really easy catch in the deep. Benny Howe looking to sweep this away on the leg side, doesn't get any of it. And Chris Wokes, who maybe has moved not even 30 centimetres, walks in and takes an easy catch.
I think you're right. I think it is Chris Wokes. They've given it to Mosley on the scoreboard. Oh, here is Freddie McCann. So that's good to see. He's on his way out to the middle.
Yep.
I'm with you. I thought it was Chris Wokes.
Yeah, Chris Wokes out there. You can recognise that silver beard anywhere, can't you?
So Freddie McCann comes in at number 6. Notts require 57 from 56, and I just want to make sure that was another wicket that's gone down in quick succession. Tom Moore's out in the 10th over, Benny Howell out in the 11th.
Yeah, another left-hander in. So young Freddie McCann in, and this is defended off the front foot by Freddie to extra cover where Captain Ed Barnard does the fielding. No run.
Paul Pollard just having a word with Bo Webster about something. No idea what it is.
Webster with 1 ball left this over. Slow gather in, fires it down, and McCann is lapping this up and over where fine leg would be, and Usman Tariq runs around and does the fielding. They get back for 2 in the end. So 85 for 4. Most importantly, Notts required just over a runner ball. 55 runs off 54 balls to take 4 points home tonight.
Yeah, Warwickshire have got to bowl them out, and more pertinently, I think Notts have got to make sure that they don't contribute to that. They don't gift Warwickshire any wickets here. Going to be Rob Yates again. 2 overs, 2 for 5. He's been terrific. He's got the wickets of Jack Haynes for 36. Tom Moore's bowled him in his last over for 1. There is Yates, and straight away onto the switch is Muncie. Plays it out onto his offside, which became his left side as he turned round. Jordan Thompson doing the fielding in front of the Bridgeford Road stand. 86 for 4. But no attempts to get the crowd Mexico waving or anything in this innings. They're all engrossed in the cricket. Yates to bowl to Freddie McCann, who's fresh at the crease. Pushes this back to the bowler. 86 for 4. Lots have got George Lindert probably coming next. Liam Patterson-White, Ollie Stone, Dylan Pennington and Mo Ali. This one's drilled. Has he caught that? He has. Rob Yates with a brilliant caught and bowl. And Freddie McCann goes for 2. No blame attached to McCann. He has laced this. Would have gone for 4 straight down the ground. And Yates has flung himself to his right and it's stuck. A one-handed grab, a super grab. McCann out, caught and bowled Yates for 2. It's 86 for 5. And probably can't hear any noise in the background. That's because Trent Bridge is hushed. What a catch from Rob Yates.
That is an absolute screamer. Full stretch to his left. Inches off the ground. Absolute phenomenal catch by Rob Yates. and he keeps picking up wickets. 3 for 6 in 2.5 overs. It's fantastic bowling, and he's bowled Warwickshire single-handedly back in the game. Brilliant stuff.
Yes, he's got wickets in each of his 3 overs so far, the 8th, the 10th, and now in this, the 12th. In between, there's a wicket for Bo Webster. So Notts have gone from 72 for 1 to 86 for 5 in those 4 overs. The Yates got a bowl to the new man, the Cape Town native, 34-year-old George Linder. 86 for 5. Kyle wearing a Cape Town t-shirt next to me in support of George Linder. Halfway through the 12th. Good stuff this from Yates. 3 for 6 his figures. Bowls to Linder and he's away first ball, bunting it out to deep mid-wicket for 1. 87 for 5. So Patterson White will be padded up ready to come at 8. And Stone, Pennington and Alec to bring up the rear if required. There's Yates again. Bowls, drilled back, and he's got another one! He's got another one, and Muncie has done the same, hitting it back to Yates, who just stands there, Alan Shearer-like, with his arm raised to the sky. Well, Nottinghamshire certainly contributing to their own downfall here. An extraordinary game of cricket. We don't know which way this is going to twist or turn yet. 87 for 6, and we're still in the 12th. Linder out. Muncie, I beg your pardon, out. Caught and bowled Yates for 27.
Wow, wow, wow. As soft as you like. Literally carbon copy.
He didn't have to dive full length.
No, he didn't have
Linder,
to dive full length. But in terms of the ball, slower, straighter. Both batters trying to give themselves a little bit of room. Chipped straight back to the bowler this time by Muncie. 2 and an over. Yates 4 for 7 in this spell. Absolutely brilliant. And to make matters worse, another left-hander walks out there to bat.
53 required from 49. Did say at the start of the evening the 2 records of the sides this season so far in this competition, just 1 win from 8 matches between them. If it was a football match, you'd be expecting it to finish 0-0. This is a low-scoring thriller at the moment. There's Yates. Bowls to Patterson White. Gives him a juicy full toss, which LPW bunts down the ground for a single. It's the end of the 12th. 88 for 6. 3 runs from that over, but 2 wickets. And it's still very much game on here. Linder and Liam Patterson White need to build a partnership. 52 required, 48 overs left, 4 wickets in hand. We've had 16 wickets go down this evening, and every likelihood, sad to say, but every likelihood there might be 1 or 2 more. 52 more still required. That suddenly looks a lot.
Yeah, 52 off 48. Usman Tariq into the attack. Went for 2 in his first over. He's not going to be easy to play. Slow gather, the pause, and he slams this one in quick as Patterson White off the back foot carves it away, and that is fantastic fielding out there by Dan Mosley. He's saved 2. Really, really good work. The Bears all of a sudden are diving and getting to everything. Every catch is sticking. Every ball is now finding a fielder.
Yeah, more like spring lambs than bears at the moment. All with a spring in their step.
Tariq in, pauses once again, and this skids through onto Liam Patterson White a little bit quicker. Not the front of the hand, I feel, from Usman Tariq, the bag of tricks that he has. It's another dot ball, so 90 for 6. Liam Patterson White, a good player of spin, can give it a bit of a biff. Just 1s and 2s are required, yeah, nothing silly. Tariq's in. This is full and hit uppishly down the ground. And they get a single. For a moment there, just for a fleeting moment, I thought Liam Patterson White had picked out extra cover.
After this, there were 7 overs to go. This is only Tariq's second. Webster's only had 2. We could go back to the quick boys. Wokes has 2 left. Gleeson has 2 left. Mosley, of course, could be the other spin option. He only had the 1 over, which went for 18 early on. Jack Haynes absolutely butchering that over.
Tariq into George Linder, and this is again, I think, out the front of the hand, spinning back to the South African. He's probably had a few bits of advice from fellow teammates who faced Usman Tariq in the World Cup. Tariq wearing 0-0 on his back, fires this one in fast. And George Linder pushing this one out down the ground for a single. Beg your pardon, to sweeper for a single. 92 for 6. 1 ball left in this over. 4 from it. Tariq's only gone for 6 runs in his 1.5 overs. 1 ball left. Not so, still well within the scoring rate. Tariq's in extra long pause, and this one pushed straight back to the bowler. No run. So tidy over again from Usman Tariq. 4 coming from that knot. 92 for 6. They require 48 runs of 42 balls with 4 wickets in hand. And you feel that if Notts are going to get over the line, are going to get themselves close, one of these two needs to be there at the end if Notts are going to win it.
Bears were 90 for 4 at the corresponding stage. Outlaws 92 for 6. So 2 wickets worse off. George Linder and Liam Patterson-White out there in the middle. Linder on strike. Rob Yates to bowl his final over. What a terrific performance this has been. First ball of a new over, his final over. Little bit of bounce. Alex Davis couldn't take it cleanly. Yates 4 for 8. 5 balls left. 92 for 6. Comes in past David Milne's right shoulder. Ooh, a little bit of turn there. It would have been absolutely. Salmon, yep. 93 for 6. You'd better explain that to anybody who doesn't know the salmon trout reference.
Yeah, salmon just means as plumb as you get.
Yeah.
LBW adjacent. Can walk for them.
I think it's sort of the Del Boy Trotter sort of Cockney rhyme in slang. This is hit down the ground. 94 for 6, a single. It is a club cricket thing. You say is salmon, trout, out. It's sort of
something along those lines, isn't it?
Are you familiar with Del Boy?
I know who Del Boy is. I'm not that familiar with him. I'm not going to lie to you.
Chateau Neuf de Pape as Yates comes in. This is chopped to backward point, and it might go for 4. And Thompson gives up. Didn't even think it was worth the dive. Was probably right. I think the bowlers always like to see their fielders put the dive in, but Jordan Thompson realised he'd be just diving for diving's sake. Nicely cut 4 by Linder. And we've got a little bit of noise in the crowd again.
Yeah, you mentioned Chateau Neuf de Pape. That is a lovely, lovely bottle of red wine.
98 for 6. Linder has 7. Yates down the leg side now. It's all gone wrong for Rob Yates in the last 2 or 3 deliveries. He was 4 for 8. Now he's 4 for 16. And Notts have their 100 up. 100 for 6 means they require 40 from 38 balls, 4 wickets in hand. I'd still like to think there's enough both out in the middle and back in the shed to get them over the line here. Just 40 needed, but tossed up delivery from Yates, blocked by Patterson-White. There's no run. 100 for 6. Yates bowls. Oh, mighty blow from Patterson-White, and it's gone for 6 into the Fox Road stand. No messing with that one. You get air miles for that one. Huge blow from the left-hander to finish Rob Yates' spell. Ended up with 4 for 22 from 4 very impressive overs. Terrific stuff from Rob Yates. And Warwickshire will have to turn to somebody else. Now there's 6 overs left. Notts require 34 from those 6 overs. They're 106 for 6, and Patterson-White's moved on to 11.
Yeah, it's going to be Bo Webster to bowl his off spin now. That was a big blow by Patterson-White, and Rob Yates' spell, his game-changing spell, it must be said, has got to come to an end. So Usman Tariq off.
Yeah.
You'd think he would probably then come in and bowl from the Radcliffe Road end. Bo Webster to bowl his next 2 overs from that end, thinking spin is probably the way forward. Very interesting.
Tariq 2 overs for 6.
Webster in, this is spun, and Linda just drops it onto the leg side and they come through for a single.
You made the point, I don't know, a quarter of an hour or so ago when George Munsey was still out there. 1 big over for Notts and it's job done.
Yeah, which is why I'm surprised Usman Tariq is not bowling it now. This is a wicket here, just almost blows the game wide open again. These two, the last, not saying no disrespect to Ollie Stone and Co to come in, but these two, the last sort of recognised batters. Webster in, and this is driven firmly toward extra cover. No run, good fielding.
No, I meant for Notts. 1 big over, 15 or 18 runs and it's job done.
Yep.
Well, you'd imagine.
107 for 6 as Patterson White backing away, carves us over extra cover. Zen Malik can't pull that in, and that's a 4. 111 for 6. Liam Patterson White is playing a gem here, 15 off 10, and I know that might not sound like a lot, but in the context of the game today, where it's a low-scoring thriller, that is a really, really handy contribution. Great batting, Liam Patterson White. It's Nelson. Get your feet off the ground. 111 for 6. Patterson White is chopping this one into his foot. No run. A little bit of a slingier action from Bo Webster. Only 5 coming from this over. 29 required now of 32 balls. Webster in. This is dropped at extra cover. Liam Patterson White giving himself a bit of room, and he's hit it uppishly towards extra cover.
Barnard.
Is that the captain? Yeah. Barnard it is. He's just tipped it over the crossbar. How costly is that going to be? Patterson White, the aggressor. 112 for 6, not to require 28.
Yeah, you just said Liam Patterson White with 15, not that big a score. Well, I'll tell you, 9 players in this match. I've just had a look. 9 players have been dismissed for less than 15.
This one wide, and George Linder happy to take a single at the end of the over, knowing the job is done for this over. 113 for 6, not to require 27 of the remaining 30 balls. We know for a fact Usman Tariq will bowl 12 of those. We would assume Bo Webster would bowl the other 6. Who will be bowling the remaining overs? Not quite sure, but not 27 runs away. 1 big over will absolutely kill it.
There's going to be Tariq then from the Radcliffe Road end. 2 overs none for 6 so far for the Pakistan Test player. 113 for 6. Does play more white ball cricket than red ball these days. 2 overs none for 6. George Linder on strike on 9. So here is Tariq for the first time from this end. Linder waited for it. You have to wait for it when Tariq's bowling, but he waited and cut it away square on the offside out to Thompson for a single. 114 for 6. Notts getting within striking range. They need 26 more from 29. Match night from BBC Radio Nottingham from Trent Bridge as the floodlights begin to take full effect, and this one's cut through the offside for 4. Lovely, lovely shot from Liam Patterson White, who's always had that ability to really give the bad ball a wallop. Backed away, just sat up nicely, asking to be cut, and he obliged. Lovely shot, takes him up to 20. 2 4s and a 6 in that. Not inching ever closer. Tariq bowls, pauses, bowled him! Bowled him! Came back in to Patterson White, threw his guard and bowled him. That was the wrong one. And Liam Patterson White has been bowled for 20 from 14 balls, and there is still life in this contest. 118 for 7 as Liam Patterson White goes to Tariq for 20.
Liam Patterson White walks off smiling, knowing that he's just been bested. Really long pause. How low is that arm? Out the front of the hand, Karen ball back through the gate. Liam Patterson-White has not picked it. And almost just to say, Usman Tariq has bowed to the crowd to say, yes, this is what I can do.
Terrific delivery, wasn't it? Absolutely terrific delivery. Lovely bit of bowling. High quality bowling from your overseas. He's a superstar back in Pakistan, and you can see why. That was just a really, really clever, crafty bit of skill. Here comes Ollie Stone coming in at number 9. There's just Pennington and Ali left to make the same journey out to the middle. Interesting to see what Linda does. If he just looks to take what's on offer, keeps rotating the strike, or if he looks to play the big shots. We'll find out in the fullness of time. Meanwhile, Ollie Stone will be on strike. 3 balls left in the 16th. The latest twist leaves Notts 22 away from the finishing line. 27 balls remaining. There's Usman Tariq. Over the wicket then to Ollie Stone. First ball, gets the bat on it, pushes it in the offside, and clearly the communication they had between the two of them was, if I hit it, we're running. Gets the single. Rueful smile from the bearded bowler. 119 for 7. So George Linder, left-hander on strike. Leg side field is pushed out onto the fence on the Fox Road side of the ground. Offside has 3 in the ring. There's Tariq. Oh, that's down the leg side. Oh, and he's got away with that. Got away with that. A horrible ball down the leg side, and Linda's pushed it to short fine. That was 4 a yard either side. Couldn't have hit it any more accurately. Straight to short fine. 119 for 7. Usman Tariq bowls again, and this is played by Linda into the offside. He's run the first one quickly. Rob Yates is to it. Rob Yates with the return sort of bounced the ball in a couple of times, and by then they got back comfortably for 2. So another wicket in that over, Liam Patterson-White, but they can't stop not scoring the runs. 8 in that over means now 121 for 7, need 19 from 4 overs, and I think if Notts bat through the overs, they win.
I agree.
I think Warwickshire have got to get the 3 wickets.
Yeah, Ollie Stone on strike, Richard Gleeson brought into the attack, so pace on here. And I think George Linder will be saying to Ollie Stone, you get me on strike and I fancy myself here. I'll have a dip, try get us really close, almost to try take wickets out the equation. From Warwickshire's point of view, they take another wicket here and Notts will really be starting to panic. So Richard Gleeson into the attack from the Stuart Broad end. Low scoring thriller here at Trent Bridge this evening. Stone waits, Gleeson into Stone, and this is pushed out to backward point. Dot ball. Rob Yates does the fielding at backward point, and 19 required of 23 deliveries, so less than a run a ball.
Yeah, there's no panic. You could actually play a maiden here and you'd still fancy Notts 19 from 18. So it's not as if they're under any great pressure to get X number of runs in this particular over. Just don't get out.
Yeah, exactly. It's that simple. Gleeson tearing away into the crease, goes into Ollie Stone, who's defending this out to Rob Yates, who has a shy at the stump. And Bo Webster, the backer upper,
pumped
does
up
the fielding.
Pumped up, Rob Yates.
Yep, in the contest, his 4 wickets drag Warwickshire single-handedly back into the game.
If they win, he's player of the match. There's no doubt about that.
Definitely. Absolutely fantastic. Great catch to get rid of Freddie McCann. Another good delivery to get rid of Muncie. Just 2 of those 4 wickets. Bowled beautifully. Got Tom Moores as well. Gleeson in, goes shorter. Ollie Stone, who's pushing this out at the 3rd attempt and does pierce the gap on the offside and gets a single. So 1 from this over. Question is now, does George Linder look at this and go, right, is this a matchup now where I think that I can take this down? Or do you go, let me turn it around, let me tick it over, runs on? I mean, not as Davis said, we're not under so much pressure where you think we need to hit a boundary and over. Can do this in ones and win with 6 balls to spare.
Yep, if it just drops it on the leg side, there's a run anywhere. The fielders are all out on the fence. 65, 70 yards away from George Linder on the leg side. So that's not a problem. There's more chance of Warwickshire winning this game if Linder goes searching for a big hit. Lovely picture of the ground there on the live stream. Great work again as ever from the camera crew here at Trent Bridge, providing the pictures.
Linder waits. Gleeson around the wicket, and this is carved away. That will be 4. The wide Yorker plan has not worked, and George Linder just opens the face of the bat. And Dan Mosley can't pull that in, and that is a huge boundary for Notts. Notts require 14 runs to win.
Yeah, it was a no-risk shot as well. It was nice and full from Gleeson, but it was wide enough. All he had to do really was put bat on ball. It was going to go away square of the wicket on the offside, and they hadn't got the fielder in the right place. It did go away square of the wicket on the offside, but it went very quickly and went for 4.
Yeah, I'm really surprised we haven't seen pace off from Richard Gleeson at all. Pace off today has worked an absolute treat. 14 required. 126 for 7. Gleeson back over the wicket, and this is defended by George Linder. Back to the bowler, no run. So yes, this over has only gone for 5, but Notts only require 14. 14 off 19, way less than a runner ball. Tariq's only got an over left, so you would think that would be one of the fast bowlers to bowl. Rob Yates bowled out. Dan Mosley has got overs, but he went for 18 in his first. Do they risk bowling him again? Not sure they do. I think they turn to someone like Chris Wokes, maybe Jordan Thompson. Here's Gleeson, last ball of the over. This is a slower ball, a peel, and they get through for a single. Most importantly means that George Linder gets back on strike, get through for a leg by. So Notts require 13 runs. They're within nearly 2 hits, gets them there. They need 13 off 18 balls.
I think there is definitely still a place in the game, in the T20 game, for fast bowlers. I don't think you can go out there just bowling pace off, just bowling spinners from the first over until the 20th. You have got to mix it up a little bit. But certainly those overs where they bowled pace off with Rob Yates and Webster did well as well. 3 overs for 18. Tariq 3 overs for 14. And that's exactly as Ed Barnard sees it. He hasn't bowled himself this evening. It's going to be Dan Mosley, who was absolutely butchered by Jack Haynes earlier on. He's going to come back now with Warwickshire needing 3 wickets, Notts requiring 13 from 3 overs. So it is pace off from Mosley. First ball was harrowing in on the stumps, chopped away very late indeed from Linder to backward point, and there's no run. He couldn't have been any deeper in his crease there without knocking the bail off.
As soon as he went back, I thought, oh no.
On 27 for 7, Mosley again to Linder, and the ball has got stuck, I think, under the bat and under the pads of Linder, and he was falling forward, and then after the moment had gone, a little bit of fun there as Alex Davis pushed him forward, trying to get the ball to make out he was going to stump him, but very nearly got underneath. Mosley bowls, again cut to backward point, and now and then if they hit, there's trouble here, and the shy narrowly misses. It's a good bit of fielding from backward point, but Linder had got home, got down to the non-striker's end. 128 for 7. Notts making this much harder than it certainly appeared earlier on when they were 72 for 1, with Munsey and Haynes going well.
It's turned into a real thriller, hasn't it? 12 needed off 15. Notts 3 wickets in hand. Goodness me, who would have thought that?
Here's Mosley, bowls to the right-handed Stone, who drives it down the ground. I think there'll only be a single. Bo Webster doing the fielding. 129 for 7.
George Linder waits. Mosley, 2 balls left of this over. Been a tidy one, 2 from it.
Notts require 11 from 14. Linder on strike with 17, and he's chopped this down into the ground, and it's bounced down so hard that it's gone over wicketkeeper Alex Davis, who scampers back after him, or behind himself, to grasp the ball, make sure there's no run. 129 for 7 it remains. 11 from 13 now. 3 wickets in hand. Mosley was going to bowl. Linder wasn't ready, backs away. It'll have to be redone. Cracking game, as it usually is when Warwickshire come to town, and now Linder's got hold of this. It's going to sail all the way over long on and over the rope and into the seats for 6 from George Linder, and Notts are nearly there now. They only require 5 more, and Dan Mosley's evening has had its last, I think, moment. I doubt we'll see him again, because Linder has hit that one, just seeing a replay of it, 8-10 rows deep into the crowd, and with 2 overs left, Notts require only 5.
Yeah, that's a big blow by George Linder. That 6 almost just nearly kills the game. Usman Tariq into the attack. His overs have been saved and kept and shuffled around, and he's going to bowl his final one now, but Notts can really afford just to get one off this over. He's in here to Ollie Stone, who's playing this down the ground for a single, and that is all that needs to be done. No need to do anything other than that, really. Good batting by Ollie Stone, understanding what's the point, just knock a couple of singles. George Linder, the coolest head in the ground, 23 off 19.
Much better game this than really I think we had any right to expect.
Yeah.
Coming along and seeing the respective records. Notts 1 win out of 4. Bears no wins out of 4. That's going to become no wins out of 5. One more blow to the boundary would do it.
Tariq in, pauses to Linder, and Linder off the back foot defends this 2 mid-wicket, no run. Bowling a lot quicker now is Tariq, not tossing any up there. Firing them in.
Offside fielding very close now.
Yeah, everyone in the ring saving a single. Tariq's in to Linder, who's pushing this down the ground, and mid-wicket misfields it, and they get through for a single, and then a bad throw. Davies holding on to Ollie Stone, so he can't go walkabout. Who's that there at mid-wicket that misfielded that one? It's not captain, is it?
I think it is again, Ed Barnard.
Yeah, wait for him to turn round. Tariq is into Ollie Stone, goes a little bit slower, and this outside the off stump goes through to the keeper, no run. It was Richard Gleeson that misfielded that one at mid-wicket that allowed them to come through for a single. Not only requiring 3 to win. 137 for 7. As Tariq in, goes very round arm, and this is carved straight to extra cover, no run.
Yeah, it's Barnard. Good stop. 3 required from 7.
Really good again. This is where George Linder's been really good. Just come down, relax, don't stress. Last ball of his over. He's gone for 2, 1 for 16. No need to do anything other than that. Really, really good stuff. Usman Tariq, last ball of his spell. Pause. This is in, and it's bowled him. Has it bowled him?
No, I think Davis whipped a bail off and appealed.
Sorry, it happened so quickly, I thought it went through, but end of the over. Usman Tariq finishes a spell, a fantastic spell from him, 1 for 16, but the damage is done. Notts require 3 of the last over for them to get over the line and get 4 points. It's been an absolute thriller, and Richard Gleeson is going to bowl the last one.
Yeah, dramatic match. If you weren't with us earlier, Warwickshire got off to a fine start, having been put in. Their openers Added 54 for the first wicket till they were separated in the 6th over. Mo Ali getting the first of his 3 wickets, getting Rob Yates out. Good catch in the deep from Jack Haynes. And from 54 without loss, the Bears really struggled, certainly in the second half of their innings. Bowled out for 139. 3 wickets to Ali, as I say, was terrific. Just one blow will do it, Kyle. Take him home.
Richard Gleeson from the Radcliffe Road end. If he defends this, he's a hero. Very, very difficult task. George Linder on strike. Gleeson in, goes wide and executes the ball perfectly. Wide Yorker, any bat on that, and it races away for 4, and Notts are victorious.
You're right. So should a man be put in there at third, down on the fence?
Yeah, you would think if that's where he's going to bowl, definitely. 3 runs to win, 5 balls remaining. Richard Gleeson. The ball crosses the boundary rope, Notts are victorious. Gleeson wearing the 33 comes in, and this is an inside edge and goes down to fine leg, and they get through for a single. From a Warwickshire perspective, it means that Ollie Stone is on strike. From a Notts perspective, they require 1 run. They require 2 more runs to win. So take that as you will. 1 run away from tying it. Last year we had the Blaze and Warwickshire women tie. I very much doubt this game will be a tie. Still, Notts should most definitely get over the line. A lot closer than what I think a lot of people anticipated.
4 balls remaining. I was watching a game on television last night at Taunton, Somerset Glamorgan, with 4 balls remaining in that one. The floodlights failed. Keep away from the switch, everybody. Because Notts need 2 runs to win, and Ollie Stone is on strike against his former side.
Gleeson in crowd, slow clap into Stone, who's swinging away, and it's a misfield and extra cover, which allows them to come through for a quick single. They were always going to run that. Hit away firmly, extra cover dived, misfielded it, and they got through for a single. Rob Yates couldn't quite pull that one in. Still would have required a direct hit to run Ollie Stone out, because he was running regardless. No one was stood at the stumps. So 1 run required, scores are level.
Notts can't lose. Hat-trick would be handy here for Richard Gleeson.
Great time for a hat-trick if you're a Warwickshire fan.
Don't overstep or bowl a leg side wide here, Mr. Gleeson. From your angle, George Linder, I think, just get bat on ball and Ollie Stone will run. So everybody coming in now to save the... Well, I say that. It looks like they're pushing a man out on deep square leg, Zen Malik, just in case he's surely not going to bowl a bouncer.
No, you wouldn't think
2 out
so.
on the leg side fence.
You've got to go wide Yorker, you would think. Wide Yorker, make it really difficult. No ways that they can defend this. Richard Gleeson, here we go. In he comes, George Linder waiting. Gives himself room and goes through to the keeper. That's a dot ball. So we stay out here, another ball. 1 required off 2. Well, goodness me, that... We did say there's no ways he bowls a bouncer. He did.
It was a terrific delivery, actually.
Really, really good. He's a slippery customer, is Richard Gleeson, and again his statistics suggest he's bowled really, really well this evening. 0 for 18 off 3.4. So now a change in field. So I don't think we're going to get a bouncer. Deep mid wicket comes into the ring. No fine leg, which means that this is going to be full, you'd suggest. Lapse shot is on. I watched George Linder an awful lot. I don't think I've ever seen him play a lap shot, so that will be some way to win a game of cricket. Everyone catching on the offside. In comes Gleeson, goes full, it's nicked at 4, Notts win! Notts win, an absolute thriller on a Friday night against the Bears. They made hard work of it in the end, but George Linder, cool, calm and collected. The man from Cape Town steers Notts home, and they get their win. A win that, it must be said, they've thoroughly deserved today. They bowled beautifully. They batted really, really well, and cool heads have prevailed in the end not to get over the line.
Well, very often they provide the best form of entertainment, a low-scoring thriller. Top scorer in the match was Jack Haynes, 36. Extraordinary stuff on the evening. 17 wickets have gone down. Rob Yates terrific for the Bears with 4 for 22. At one stage he was 4 for 8. Bears making 139 all out with Mo Ali. I thought Mo Ali was terrific for Notts. 3 for 27. Couple of wickets for Benny Howell. Kai Smith top scoring for the Bears with 34. We thought 140 would be a fairly routine run chase, but anything but. Joe Clark's moderate form in this competition continued. He went for 14, and then there was a real clatter in the middle order as Tom Moores for 1, Benny Howell for 2, Freddie McCann for 2. All went within the space of 3 overs. Jack Haynes and George Munsey went. Just really needed the cool head of George Linder to get Notts over the line. An important little partnership there with Ollie Stone at the end. It's been a cracking game of cricket, actually. The moments where the crowd went really, really quiet, you knew that there was some nails being bitten there. Nobody really sure what was going to happen, but it's Notts who get the win. Bears are played 5, lost 5, but Notts suddenly back in with a sniff of being able to do something in the second half of the T20 Blast group stages. Before that, they've got another fixture here on Sunday when they play Derbyshire, second half of a double header. If you've got tickets for that, don't forget you can come along from 11 o'clock. The Blaze are playing, so it's all set up for 2 really good games on Sunday. It's been a really good day for the home sides here. The Blaze winning, and now, Kyle, the Outlaws winning. What a match.
Yeah, fantastic game of cricket. Big fan of low-scoring thrillers. Both sides were really good in parts of the game. Rob Yates bowled them back into the game single-handedly, so really good win there from Notts. Getting themselves on a little run here. If they fancy themselves against Derbyshire at home, they can go in sort of parity, lost 3, won 3, and then break for red ball cricket, and when they come back they'll fancy their chances to sort of really get a big push to try get themselves into the playoffs. Really good win this evening. Those games are very, very easy to sort of fall on the losing side, and Notts will be absolutely astounded.
So there we have it. Thank you to Dave and Kyle for the commentary. I've got a relieved, heart still beating quite fast Peter Moores. Pete, just tell us about that innings and that game there. What a proper nipper that. It's a good job already, Gray, I think. Yeah, it's we didn't listen. Some really good things tonight. We made some mistakes tonight, and we got over the line. What's so good about when you win titles like that, it's a fantastic feeling in the dressing room. So I thought George Linder there and Ollie Stone, very calm. Thought actually Liam Patterson-White's was that little cameo, very brave, bold innings, really. It was fantastic. And obviously we got Jack Haynes up front in that little injection at the end of the power play. So the pitch got a little bit tougher towards the end. And like a lot of things, when the pressure comes, it's how you handle it. So we're just good enough tonight, and it's a really big win. You know, we know after getting a slow start to back up the last win with another one tonight is key.
If we just talk about the bowling innings first of all, it felt in that power play that we could have had a few wickets early doors, but then that kind of, I think it was 3 wickets in 14 balls, a real change in momentum. But to restrict them for under 150, what do you make of that from a bowling performance?
Well, the best thing about the bowling was we were decisive, and most of the time we were really decisive in what we did. You know, we hunted wickets, which is good. I thought probably summed up by, you know, being brave enough to attack the stumps. You know, Dylan Pennington hitting the stumps twice, Mo Ali bowling his Yorker. I thought generally we're getting somewhere with our bowling, and I think that it was crucial. I mean, every run was crucial. Wasn't our best fielding display all round, if I'm honest. Today we just got to tidy up a bit. We fielded really well actually in the last game. So there's areas for us to look at to get better. There's no doubt about that. But it's a win, you know. So we got one more game before we break for the championship, which will be another game at Trent Bridge. We knew we had 3 home games to finish this block, and if we can finish with 3 wins, that'd be fantastic. But we'll enjoy the win tonight.
And momentum's a big thing in T20. It always has been. You know, you get winning, you get the winning habit, and you start to get confident in how you play. I thought, so great. And a little shout out, I think, for Liam Patterson-White. First game in after playing for the Lions, bowled beautifully, fielded beautifully, and actually I thought batted really well.
I was going to say that about LPW. Been away with the England Lions, as you say. People think of LPW as a very experienced, because he's been around the club for many years, but even in this format, he's still quite relatively new. But to come in straight away, play a game, like you say, bowling, and also that little cameo with the bat, how do you think we approached it with the bat when we've got such a small target? Everybody's going, well, it's under 7.5 rate, it's easy, just knock it around, find the gaps, there's plenty of ones and twos there. But how do you think we approached that target that we got set?
Well, we got pressure. We had a great power play. The way Jack came in, and George had got a little bit. For him, he's played so well for us. A little slowed up. We got to 4 overs gone, 2 overs left of the power play, and they bowled Jordan Thompson. And watching that, I thought it'd be interesting what Jack does. Jack then targeted that over for the short edge, played it beautifully, and then same again, I think, with Mousley when he came on. That injection was crucial for us winning the game, if I'm honest. And after that, we just lost wickets to spin. The pitch wasn't easy towards the end. There's no doubt about that. And Rob Yates did really well. So we give them a lot of credit. They fought really hard. I thought the 2 partnerships, George Linder and Liam Patterson-White, and then I thought the way Ollie Stone came in actually at the end and worked to get off strike, to give it back to George Linder was crucial actually in getting over the line. And we saw how tight it was. We just used a ball to go.
You mentioned it just finally. This last 3 games, this block finishes with three home games. Derby here on Sunday. They obviously got a victory against us not that long ago. Local rivals. It's a great way to sort of end this first block. What are you looking for from the lads on Sunday?
Yeah, you're hoping to put that complete performance, I think, where you put the batting, the bowling, the fielding all together, I think, and try and finish. We hope we get a big crowd. It's Derby, it's at home. We had a good game, last time, because they'd be. And Aaron Donald had a good day, so we'd be a little bit frustrated from the last time we played him. So we'll try and put that right. But it's set for a really good game of cricket. We'll go into that game confident now after 2 wins.
Well, go and sit down, calm down, have a cup of tea or something. But congratulations on the win, and see you Sunday.
Thanks.
All right, cheers. Head coach of the Notts Outlaws there, Peter Moores, and what a victory it was today for both teams here at Trent Bridge. Don't forget that the Blaze won earlier on. They beat Warwickshire Bears women by 11 runs, and while the Outlaws, you've just seen it, haven't you? They got over the line in the last over and they win by 3 wickets. So it's day delight here at Trent Bridge, and we get to do it all again on Sunday as we've just discussed. So please do join us on Sunday. Tickets are still available, but if you can't make it to Trent Bridge, then we will have you covered here on Trent Bridge Live. But from everybody here, enjoy your weekend, and we look forward to seeing you on Sunday.